Hey, everybody. It is February 1st, 2017. We're here with the Boom. I have with me, I haven't done introductions in a long time, so I'm going to do that. Get back into the swing of things. I have, I have the ever loquacious Barry Reynolds.
Hey, what's up?
That's Barry must have taken his little special medicine because he's actually kind of sounding a little chipper right now.
And he didn't even call us effers.
No,
Not yet. Sorry, hey fuckers, what's up?
Looks like we got the best hair in the business, David Lowry.
No, yeah, doubting that.
The professional hanger-on, Keith.
Hanging on as always.
Who I heard just got another press badge to Gen Con. So you're not really hanger on. You're like a real person now.
Only because I used the Alaboom to get it. Apparently,
cool
the
story.
Alaboom has enough stuff that Stasia said, "Okay, whatever."
Well, with not to wait a little bit to introduce the last person, but I think it's one of those things that once you're in, it's like if they see you've had it before, they just give it to you. I mean,
and this time I didn't even steal your badge.
Yeah, that's nice. And Mr. Cool Mini or Not himself, and also famed game designer.
That's a stretch.
Pete Shirey. How we doing, bud?
Good. Very good.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's February 1st. We're going to see a shadow tomorrow and thing. Groundhog's Day is actually a pretty big day for me because that is my dog Reggie's birthday. She turns 10 years old tomorrow. I'm that old lady. She's just that's like my first. She might come down eventually, but I'll show her off. But I've showed her off before. But yeah, she's a good little dog, and she's like the first dog I ever like got myself. You know how when your parents get a dog, you have a dog, you know. But this is my dog, and yeah, she's awesome. So she turns 10 tomorrow, which is like a billion years old in dog years or whatever. But yeah, dogs are awesome. And David, I keep seeing pictures of you with some puppy that you're gonna bring home and cook and eat or something. I don't know.
I gotta wait two more months. It's big enough for that. But there's an animal rescue here that we're a part of, and they just got in a litter of oh jeez, I just forgot Sharpei lab mixes. So they're only a week old, and we've been going over there and feeding them and taking care of them. And one of them just kind of captured my heart, so I've got my name on it. And when she's ready to come home in April, we'll be bringing her home.
How big is that dog going to get? Sharpei and Lab. That'll be a fairly good sized dog.
Somewhere between 30 and 80 pounds. We're not really sure.
That's a huge range.
I have a buddy who's got a purebred Sharpei, but Lucky is so fat he doesn't have wrinkles. It's like the funniest Sharpei.
He stretched it all out.
Yeah, which I thought was just awesome. I mean, it's just like you can see a couple in his face. Rather than that, yeah, Lucky eats well. He doesn't. He talks about how like they had to hide the cat food up on like counters and stuff because he just goes over and he doesn't care. He just eats it all. So yeah, good stuff. But yeah, good for you, man, for donating your time and taking care of the puppies and bringing. Well, have you got a name for the little runt yet?
We haven't. We were thinking originally we were going to do some kind of name that was maybe like I was thinking Miles Davis. We didn't know what sex it was the first time we saw it, so I was thinking
it's tough. You look underneath and you see there's a wiener there. That's how it works.
But at that age, you can't tell. So. That's what kind of
like when somebody looks at you. Anyway,
exactly.
Yes.
But our cat's name is Sherlock. One of the other dogs' name is Picasso, and the other one is named Cash after Johnny Cash. So we're thinking, we're going to stick something somewhere in that range of brilliance. And so I might do Ella for Ella Fitzgerald. I'm not real sure yet. We got to see.
You're not going to go game related. You're going to go music related.
No. I'm going to go music related. There isn't enough established game history for me to really pull out brilliant.
Sarah McLachlan.
No.
But she does the animal video
She does.
commercial or whatever.
She does. And I actually like her, but no.
Call him
How about just-
Riker
how about
after
just
Queensryche.
Huh?
Riker after Queensryche.
Well, why? Why would you name him something that's horrible?
Oh, Lance, let's not get into this.
I'm going to pick something that's, I mean, she's a dark chocolate color. So I want to pick something that fits her personality, and we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. I wasn't expecting this, really. I actually kind of rallied against going to feed the dogs because I knew I'd walk out with one. So, we got our 2 dogs that we have now are old. So, we're having issues with them. The one's completely blind. The other one's almost blind. One's deaf. And Cash can't control himself anymore with his continence. So every other day I'm in there cleaning out the cage. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So how's everybody been doing? Everybody, I'm going to step in. I'm going to start off because technically, and I want to make sure that we don't, we don't actually have Keith lose his press badge. So let's just say, anybody play any games recently before we move on to the insanity?
We know what Keith's playing. He was talking about it while we were off air for a few minutes. And
some small game. It got like a couple of bucks on Kickstarter called Gloomhaven or something. I don't know. I haven't played it at all.
I have played 2 games this week. I've played my 4th game of Scythe, which I enjoyed quite a bit. And then I played a game called The Pursuit of Happiness, which was pretty decent. It was an interesting take on kind of life, the card game. It was a shocker. I looked at it and didn't think I was going to like it. And it started off even bad because there's a lot of iconography, so it was really hard to figure out what was going on. But about halfway through the game, it kind of clicked. And then by the end of the game, I was pretty interested in playing it again sometime. So that one pretty good. And I was going to play a 3rd game. I'm working on a new prototype, and hopefully I'll have that done by the end of the week so I can start playtesting that. That's about all for me this week and for the foreseeable future.
I played, oddly enough, Aquasphere.
I like that game.
Orleans.
It's Orleans, thank you.
Have not played that one yet.
Imhotep.
Yeah, that's a great game, dude. You need to play that. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm working on this new game that's coming out around Easter called Thank Heaven, which is kind of a Christian-themed trivia game.
Oh.
It's a huge box. Is that a prototype box?
It's a prototype box.
Oh.
Yeah, so... But that's what I played. I played more this week than I ever thought I would. But I also got a whole bunch of nice games in the mail, thanks to some wonderful company.
Yeah, they suck. Let's see. What have I played recently? I played another game of Defenders of the Last Stand, which is a game I absolutely love.
Love that game.
Yeah, that game's so much fun. It's just it made me want to play Defenders of the Realm again, which now I have to track down a copy.
It's both of those games are highly underrated.
I just got that the day I was playing your games.
Yeah. So, well, no, it was weird. So, like, I think I might have. They might be making me a promo for like the new Defenders of the Realm expansion, which I'm pretty excited about actually, because that's like one of my favorite games, and Richard Lanius is like the bomb. So, and I say that without any. Well, yeah, I totally geek out to Richard Lanius. I mean, I remember I said one day, like literally like a weird phone number call. This is back when I worked at my old job and I was at my desk and I saw my phone light up and I got a phone call from some weird number and I was like, I just let it go to voicemail thinking it was some idiot or whatever. So then I saw somebody actually left a voicemail and I was like, nobody leaves voicemails anymore. So like, okay, well I'm actually curious. Let me check this out. And I listened to it and it was Richard Lanius who had gotten my phone number from Jason Maxwell. He's like, in this little southern drawl, which I won't try to replicate. He's like, hey, Lance, this is Richard Lanius. I don't know if you know who I am, but I designed Arkham Horror. But anyway, I wanted to run some things by you. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. If you could call me back, that'd be great. I was just like, so yeah, I gotta go. I jumped out of my desk and like ran out in the hallway. spent the next hour on the phone with him. That was like a total geek out moment for me. I was pretty excited.
Richard is a really good dude. Working with him these past couple of years has been probably my professional highlight of my small board gaming career.
No,
he's fantastic.
Don't let your boss at Cool Mini or Not hear that or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, this job is great, and I love the opportunities that I'm getting him. But to create your, to start actually designing games, but have somebody like that as your mentor it's hard to top.
Yeah. So there's at my local game store here in town. They're having a flea market. You buy a table and you can bring. So I've been like culling going through, and like I'm gonna be bringing all these games to try to unload them, and so I was like, a few of them I was like, okay, I gotta make sure this game, maybe I play the games that I didn't like or whatever. I was like, I better check this out, and and Dice City, I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Dice City one more time, and like I thought this was like a horrible game, and yeah, I played it. Yeah, that game's horrible. I was just like, I gotta check it again. Maybe I played it wrong the other 3 times I played it and just hated it. So let me play it again. I was like, yep, that's bad. So that wasn't something new I played, but yeah, it was something I played. Yeah, I've actually, and then I played. I went to the local game store game night, and I played a game that I've actually been wanting to play for like forever. But somebody had the new version, GMT reprinted Conquest of Paradise, which is just a weird Waro would be a good, like it's a war game with some like weird kind of Euro elements to it. That came out a long time ago, and it's about like Peloponnesian, like traveling from island to island, and it's something I always wanted to play. And somebody had it, and they asked if I could play, and I sat down. And it was awesome. So now I got to go buy a copy before it gets sold out. Yeah. So I mean, I don't play war games often, but when I do, I usually am surprised at how good they are. So there you go. But other than that, yeah. Anybody else got anything? Barry, you play anything recently?
No, I missed Beer Mongers last time, and I'm going to miss it the first time this month because I'll be in Florida. But
last time I heard they didn't miss you, though.
No, they didn't. Yeah.
So
I haven't played anything in about a month.
Oh, good for you. Why are you even on this show?
I don't know. I asked myself
rough.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. No, so all right. Well, thank you. That's if you were tuning in to hear about board games, that's probably all you're going to hear about those. No.
Most likely.
We're kind of waiting for Anthony to show up, but of course now we'll move into the first real part, the airing of grievances. Does anybody
Oh, yes.
Does anybody have any grievances they wish to air at this time? Anything is on the everything's on the table. You can.
Yes. You go first. I'm excited.
Oh man, have I got a grievance? As some of you know, I just recently moved and got a new house, and we've had all the normal new house problems. Some light sockets not working, some paint things here and there. Some stupid stuff too, like a smoke detector that was buried in drywall that was going off with a low battery signal, waking us up in the middle of the night. So the typical shit, but. We've had some standing water in the backyard now for probably about a month and a half, and they've tried everything to fix it. They've checked for leaks and plumbing and all this stuff. It's gotten to the point now where they built this system around our house so that water wouldn't come into the basement, and it would go around the house and then off into the back ravine behind us. And apparently they installed it improperly, and it's been basically flooding our backyard for the last month and a half. So they have to tear up our entire yard after we just put in a brand new sprinkler system about a month ago. And I'm ready to pull my effing hair out. So hate builders. If you're going to buy a new house, don't use D.R. Horton. Next.
The thing about my wife and I, we looked for a while. I should be totally honest with you. My wife worked really hard at finding houses to drag me to. I did not help nearly enough. And then we looked and we looked and we looked and we couldn't find anything that we really, I mean, it was just whenever you're looking at a house, it's like, oh, we like this, we like this, we like this, but we didn't like this, we didn't like that, we didn't like that, pretty standard stuff, and then so finally we decided to build, and that's definitely one of those things where it's like, if you knew then what you knew, as far as like the choices you make and the things you decide, if we ever decide to build again, I mean, it was a great learning experience. We got a really good lot. Our lot is huge. I mean, we have so we're right next to an elementary school. So, and we're thinking about moving in a couple of years or so. So, if when we do, we should be able to. And then the people that are selling their houses around us, I mean, they're selling it, 60, 80,000 more than they paid. So, it's good, but man, I mean, it's just like so many things we would change as far as the decisions that we made. And but yeah, I mean, but that's cool. I mean, like you learn and you move forward, and so yeah, I mean, I think our goal is, if we 2, 3, 4 years, if we find our forever house, great. If not, we'll have to, we'll build our forever house and figure out what we want to do with it. So, but yeah, building a house, man, it's it never stops. The stuff, like we just redid the floor in my son's room because the carpet was just, the carpet was 8, 9 years old. It needed to go. It was just, and the traffic in the room that just destroyed it. And we got to do the same now. And so we installed a new floor ourselves. We redid the ceiling, painted it. We're gonna have to do the same thing to our room. Exact same thing. We're gonna have to rip up all the carpet and redo the floor. Yeah, it's just, but I mean, I don't know. My wife was really, really good at researching that stuff, and she really likes doing it. And she's able to motivate my butt into helping her. So kudos to her. So
that's the key right there.
Yep.
Yeah. But so anybody else got a grievance they can air? I got something I want to air, and I want to say this, and I'm pretty sure that it's quite likely that I'll set David off on this one, which I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited a little bit, or at least I think David will chime in a bit. And
narrows it down to about 15 subjects.
Yeah.
All right. So so everybody, the whole, and I don't want to get too political here. No, I don't want to get too political. I don't want to get very political here. And as soon as Anthony shows up, I've got my before and afters, and so we'll be able to laugh and have a good time here very, very shortly. So everybody saw the video of the guy getting punched, and then it seems like I can't go 2 or 3 or 4 posts without somebody saying we should all go punch a Nazi. Okay, fine, great. And you see it like all Nazis should be punched and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
Okay, so I was just sitting there, I was thinking about this, and I said, fine, I understand. They have very hateful rhetoric. If anybody, people that espouse hateful actions and a hateful belief, they're asking, to get a good.
Oh, and Anthony's here! Yay!
Andy, they're asking for a good punch in the mouth. However, the thing is, you can't just go around and punch people in the face. So I was thinking, so I was just scrolling through my feed, and I'm like, and it wasn't as bad as it was like 3-4 days ago, but there was a fairly common thing about people saying it's a good thing to go and punch these people in the face. And they're like, we should all punch Nazis and all this stuff. And I kept on thinking, what if all of these people that have said this is a great thing, got in their car, drove to where a Nazi was, and I mean, obviously we're using the name, whatever, but I mean, find some white supremacist or find somebody who has this, and just walked up to them and punched them in the face. None of these people would actually do that. No. I mean, they just wouldn't. It's
silly rhetoric.
It's a chime in for this thing, and the thing is that, and maybe some of them would, and that's fine. You're backing up your words, but because it's a crime. It's a flat out crime. You just can't walk up to somebody and punch them in the face. I mean, it's just, one of the whole thing is that, you can say horrible, hateful crap, but we can't, we can, all we can do is yell back at you. We can't put our hands on you. And it's one of the things where it's like, yeah, I wish that we could have some sort of editorial process where, things like that, or the Westboro Church or things like that, where we could just say, no, you're not allowed to talk anymore. But you can't do that. You have the right to speak what you feel or what you think, no matter how stupid or effed up it is. And and this is speaking to the hypocritical nature of the situation. I know David might have something to say, but it really bothers me that sometimes from the people, when you point that out to them, where you're saying, it's like you realize that in a weird way you're being kind of
Exactly.
yeah, in a weird way, because like you're just basically saying you can't talk, you're not allowed to talk, or if you talk, you should be punched in the face. It's just like, and it's a weird kind of like reverse nationalism or something. I don't even know how to describe it, and it really bothers me. And,
well, we had this conversation, and I made a point and said,
You talking out of a megaphone?
no, I'm not. I don't know what's going on. Hold on a second.
Well, at least he isn't all garbled. He must have restarted. So I'll take Mr. Megaphone.
Yeah, it was actually quite clear, to be honest with you. It was reverberating in my ears. I felt like I was listening to Lou Gehrig.
Does anyone remember that really bad 1980s comic, Mr. Megaphone?
Oh,
No.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure you could YouTube it up. He had basically one joke about he carried a megaphone up to the mic with him, and it was really loud. Anyway,
All right. Is that better?
Yes.
Who are you? And hey, everybody, this is Anthony Mercano, famed podcaster of was it the Secret Cabal?
Secret Cabal.
Secret Cabal, yeah, that's what I thought.
So how are those drive-through reviews going there?
I'm sorry, what?
Reviews going?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you. Funny.
Are you gonna shut up and sit down now?
I am. Oh!
Well, crits happen, so
Is this your friend the Game Boy Geek now?
Oh, okay.
ouch.
Well, he can. That's fine. Bring it on. Now he muted himself, or did somebody mute him? I didn't mute him.
I didn't mute him.
Oh, what happened to Anthony?
You hurt my feelings.
Oh,
Aw.
don't you say you hurt? I hurt your feeling.
So you want to hear the funny story about the
Okay,
whole
yes, but who are you talking to? Give us some background. Who are you talking to during this discussion?
Okay, so I was talking to some people I work with, and I said, because someone was making the whole thing of, oh, that person's a hero. I said, good, if they can be a hero, but if I was there and I was a cop, I would have arrested them. And they said, well, you can't do that because they're standing up to Nazism. I said, look, if somebody hurt one of my children or did something heinous to them, I would beat the living crap out of them. I would probably kill them. And I'd be a hero. I'd be a hero sitting in a jail cell.
Yeah. I've often told my wife that. I said, if anybody ever hurt my kids, I'd put them in the ground. And she said, well, why would you want to take, just like, why would you want their father to be taken away from them? I was like, oh, yeah, go ahead. I don't know. It seems.
Here's the deal. You're preaching against hate, but yet you're doing nothing but preaching hate. It makes no sense. It's complete hypocrisy. And so when one side can't look at the other or look at themselves and say, I'm really not, living my values here and stopping the rhetoric. That's really what it pisses me off. Number one, you should never be comparing anybody to a Nazi because we don't have anything even close to that in America.
Oh, not yet. It's coming.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. So, I mean, that's just that is just completely rude anyway. Can you really think of being insulted any more than being called a Nazi? So, that's what bugs me about that. I just don't think. I mean, there's a crap ton of abuse out there, and that's why I go on my video rants. And people are like, "Wow, you're just pissed off." I'm like, "Well, if you saw my stream, like every other post is somebody calling somebody a Nazi or a fascist or something. It's just ridiculous." So that's what bugs me about it. I mean, I don't care that people like Trump at all. I can really understand.
Here's my biggest problem with people who our debate about all of this nonsense. I have no problem with anyone, and I've said on the show before, I have no problem with anyone saying anything they dislike about anyone in politics.
Right.
The president, whoever's running for president, so on and so forth. However, you lose all bit of
Credibility?
not credibility, me even listening to you, if you refer to said person, regardless of who it is, and do not call them by their actual name. I have a friend who is highly intelligent, and I basically have told him off the other day and said, look, you sound like a fucking idiot because you keep saying Drump.
Drump,
Call him by his name.
Mm-hmm.
I said, everything else you say, fine. It doesn't matter. But call him by his name. Like the same thing, like I cannot stand Hillary Clinton. But anytime someone called her Hitlery, again, we're going to throw Hitler in the thing, I was like, come on, you're better than that. And that's all of this stuff here. What's the new one? Oh, Cheeto Nazi. And Cheeto Hitler is my new favorite one. You know what? You're a child.
Exactly right.
I mean, like every single time I see somebody saying libtards, I'm like, you're an idiot. You know, just first of all, calling somebody a liberal isn't a curse, and you know, and trying to make them even like, exactly. I mean, it's like those things that just drive me absolutely crazy, and it's just, and the thing is that people, and this is on both sides of the coin, people are under this weird impression that they're speaking on some sort of higher echelon like intelligence, so it makes it okay, you know, and just like, oh well, you know, you the rabble, you don't understand what's going on, but me, you know, I got it, you know, and this is why I can talk to you like this.
Yes, with all your,
because I saw it on the Huffington Post. It's got to be what it is. Mm-hmm. and the Slate and the Republic and like literally, I have been like spending the past week blocking accounts on Twitter, and not people that I know. I block the people that they retweet.
Right.
And literally everybody works for either the Washington Post or the Huffington Post. They must have like 9 billion people working there.
They do, because they're not paid. They're not paid. They're just bloggers. So
they're like paid by story, but they're not on salary or something.
Yeah.
So, and here's the weird deal is that like now people are going to listen. People will listen to me talk, and they just assume that I voted for Trump, and I didn't.
Don't worry, Lance. Nobody listens to you talk.
Yeah, we gave up on that.
Good one. No. So I mean, like, so I it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you know, and then if it's like, no, I think he's a complete and total moron. I do, and I think I don't think he's gonna. I think he's going to leave the country worse than when he came in to get it. But it's just, I get so radically angry, and I just like earlier today, like I had posted, and that's why like I did a post on Facebook like about an hour ago where I said, you know, thank you for common sense for I had like a 18 paragraph diatribe of what I thought was, and I just said, no, you know what, just
I have 35 of those in Google Docs right now.
All right, I'm gonna give a little bit of advice to everybody out there, no matter what side of the cause you're on, or whatever. Okay, if you see something that somebody writes and you tweet about it or retweet it, that's fine. If you retweet 26 other people saying the exact same thing, it does not make it any more true.
Well, it didn't make it true in the first place. So let's just be honest.
No, I'm saying like the people were on the inauguration day. People were tweeting about the numbers. Literally, somebody who I no longer follow on Twitter tweeted 39 times in 1 hour, different people saying the exact same thing about the numbers. I'm like, I have a pair of friggin' eyes. I can see there aren't as many people there in the audience.
Right. So
That's why I stay off the Twitter.
So
Yeah.
here are my grievances. Number one, it pisses me off that the live chat doesn't pin to your screen, so it'll stay up whenever you have to switch between websites. That ticks me off. Number two, when you're posting something and you're claiming that this is all true, and you're posting like Senator Schumer the other day was crying crocodile tears about the refugees. 14 months ago, he was saying exactly the same thing. The refugees from Syria are a threat. We might have to halt the program and redouble our background checks. 14 months ago. So that tells you right there. Number one, that's a red flag. We've already banned them once for 6 months. Another set wants to come out and do it again because they think they're an issue. Now we have another party doing it, and a lot of people won't say, well, it's just because it's Trump. No, it's because there's an issue over there that they're not telling us. There's something going on that the general public doesn't know about. And people who have never dealt with war, who've never dealt with terrorism, who don't know anything, they will believe anything they read. They don't realize that the government will never tell you the truth, and neither will the media for the most part. So you just have to understand that if somebody on that aisle is saying something, there's a good chance that not even 6 months ago he said exactly the opposite. You just have to dig and find it.
Right, and that's on both sides of the equation, so It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's exactly. So, all these people are out there saying, well, you're wrong. You're absolutely, completely, 100% wrong. So, all you have to do is look at Germany and see what happened with their immigration over the last year and a half to realize there is a massive threat, even if it's not terrorist. There's a threat just due to the amount of sexual assaults and rapes that have gone up due to refugees. So there's that. And then what was my other one? Oh, crap, I had another grievance. I forgot what it was. No big deal. But it's that kind of thing. It's like political rhetoric changes every other day. And we don't remember that even 3 weeks ago, Obama banned Cubans from the country. He took away a long-standing policy that now Cubans can't just come into the country anymore like they used to. Literally banned them. They have to go through a process like everybody else does now. So, well, not literally banned it, but he took away that deal. Nobody said a word. Not one word. So where's the outrage for all this other stuff? That faux outrage just really gets to me. It's like you pick and choose over stuff and then try to blame it because it's Trump. Today I saw some woman blame the bombing of Syria on Trump. He hasn't dropped any bombs there. Not one bomb has been dropped by Trump in Syria. It's that kind of crap.
Well, the other thing is that people use the terms the way they need to use them. Like, I see everyone posting this past week, I like the give me your tired, your poor huddled masses. And I'm like, my grandfather came through Ellis Island, and I have stories to tell you and how easy and great it was for him.
Yeah.
But he went through the process he was supposed to go through.
Yeah, some requests in there, Anthony.
My grandfather killed Nazis, and afterwards he felt bad about it.
Yeah. Oh, my godfather served with the Nazis because Italy was on their side, and he got captured day one of the war. So he wouldn't have to fight.
I think people forget that even though somebody might have wore a uniform, not everybody felt the same way as they all did, right? Some of those soldiers didn't approve, didn't like it, didn't want to do it. And if they didn't do it, they were going to get shot. In that same war, Russians who decided to not shoot the enemy and tried to turn around and run away, got shot in the back by their own people. Not everybody who wore a uniform is an evil, whatever. And people forget that. They just lump everything all together and forget that these are humans. They have feelings, and sometimes they're forced to do horrible things. Now, I'm not saying that was most Nazis. I don't know. I'm just saying that is out there.
But anyway, so there you go. That we'll just end the politics just like that. I wanted to talk actually before I do my before and afters. I wanted to talk. I for the first time ever, I think I'm canceling a pledge.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, I just can't back this giant that Modievo Universalis the more I read about it and the more stuff I it's one of those things where I don't want to miss out on it, kind of thing.
It's got 550 minis. Plus.
And but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this probably isn't worth $250. That's and it's like one of those things where I'm like, I've never canceled a pledge before, and just everything that I'm reading about it, it's just like it's the only thing I know that like it's when I backed it, it was at $195,000. It's dropped to 168 since then.
Wow, that's a large drop.
Yeah,
and it's like, and so like basically, like people are like, okay, so people have basically just said, it's like, okay, can we read the rules? And then like it took them like 2 weeks to get out this set of rules. And then they read the rules and they said, okay, well, here's our problem with the rules, and this doesn't seem to make sense. This doesn't seem to make sense. This doesn't seem to make sense. And it's just like, and so then they're like, and admittedly, there's a translation thing going on, so understandable, right? And so it's one of those things where it's like, so, but then they don't address it. They don't say, oh, well, it's this, that, the other thing. And the people that like, and it just seems, and once again, I don't know for sure, but it seems like in the comments, there are people that are like there's backers basically saying, this looks scary. Could you please assuage before I give you a bunch of my money? I don't want to buy a clunker. And then there's people that basically they come in and then they talk about how great it looks. And then like they talk about, oh, there might be problems, but like here's a quote. It's like, the more I see of this game, the more I want it. Sure, there are problems, but life is a problem. Making a game is a problem. Paying for a game is a problem. Waiting until it gets to your table is a problem. So why are we complaining about problems? Just like it just seems like there's people in there that are plants that are like trying to get people excited about it. And
who wrote that? Jeff Spicoli? I figure you got problems and I got problems.
Yeah, and like one of the things they say, it's a sad and revealing statement about the projection of a campaign when not even 500 people can be brought to click the like button in the lower center of the bar to obtain something for free. So basically they said if we get enough likes on this thing, then you can get like a free bonus in the game. And people just won't go and do it. And they actually, a lot of people make comments very, very positively about Cool Mini or Not, saying that basically there's just like, what does it say here? Like it was something about, it's like the campaign was by doing everything contrary to the book. This campaign is driven to the ground and is still only lingering because people wait with bailing out until the last moment. It's just like, I will be damned if they rip me off for stretch goal insurance, because that would definitely be the wrong incentive and signal. It is nearly an art not to have accumulated $500,000 in the end when a product has this much potential. If Cool Mini or Not were handling this, they would have 10 times as much money. Anybody who pays them this money is rewarding the publisher from virtually launching an unprepared, after reportedly a game in 10 years in the making, campaign with silly and misunderstood pricing strategy. Too many of these mistakes were or should have been obvious from the start. There is no excuse for making us bleed for their mistakes again.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
Well, maybe Cool Mini or Not would have made 10,000 times of it, but I probably would have had a replacement box for my copy of the others by now.
What now?
Man.
Replacement for what?
Man.
I didn't catch it.
I've been waiting for a replacement box with the others since the Kickstarter got delivered.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah, I had to write back again.
I will. I'll put in a good word for you tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't want to. I mean, okay. I have gone on record in saying repeatedly that What's Your Game makes excellent games. I paid for a copy of Rebel Revolution. I got a copy of Rebel Revolution. The box is all bashed up. I contacted them and said, what can you do for me? I sent them pictures of the box. They told me that I have to file a claim of insurance on the shipping. All right, fine. I'll jump through the hoops. I need information from them, shipping information from them to do it. Like I have to have like a shipping label. I have to have and also they have to send me the PDF of the receipt that they use to purchase, and they won't give it to me. So it's like, okay, you tell me I have to do this. I need this information so I can do it.
So apparently during that the shipping of all those boxes, they played soccer with them around the warehouse, because I've seen nothing but pictures from people about boxes that they'll pre-order just being banged around and shipping.
I'm just, and I'm like, and once again, I understand it's a lot of games, it's a lot of money. I'm sure they're just completely and totally swamped with it. But I'm at the point now where I'm just like I said, I am just going to wait till it hits retail. I'll just pay $40 for another game, and I will gift it to somebody else. I'll see if somebody will give me $20 for it, and I'll just write it off as a loss. Because it's I can only email you and ask you for the information that I need so many times before, and getting told that we'll get it to you, and like, okay, it's been like a week. I want to do this, and it's just, but yeah, it's just when you tell somebody that they have to file a claim, it's like, that's that to me. I mean, and admittedly, maybe that's the way you have to go to save some money or whatever. But to me, that's like, that's not really good customer service. If I contacted, and this is once again a very, very, very special situation because of the problems they had with shipping and everything like that. I understand that, but I contact any other, I order something from Cool Stuff and the box gets damaged on the way, and I contact them. They send me a shipping label to send the game back, and they send me another one while I'm waiting. I mean, it's that, or they just say, "Would you like a $10 coupon?" And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And it's just like they take care of it, bam, done. They don't make me jump through hoops to try to get back my $40. I mean, I've already put more than $40 worth of work into trying to file this claim for this game at this point. And I mean, and to me, that's just them knowing that people aren't going to bother with it, and they're just pushing it off onto them. So I'm annoyed, even though I realize I'm still annoyed.
Did you get your Essen stuff?
I didn't really get much from Essen this year. I didn't. I had some of the TMG crew that was in Essen. They muled it back for me, but yeah, I didn't really order much. And you know what? And I realize now that I don't think I'm going to go that route ever again. I mean, that whole pre-order, and then you get it maybe a month ahead, and you pay an extra $40 or whatever to do it. I mean, maybe if I go to Essen, that'll be a different thing. But then again, going to Essen, how do you get your crap back? That's my big question. It's like you got. I mean, you'll have to lug some of it back yourself, but I don't know. It's just it's weird. I don't know. It's tough. But what do you do? So
you play before and after.
Yes, that's right. Let's play before and after. This is the Wheel of Fortune to your initials. The Price is Right to I don't know, whatever else is. But so all right. So is everybody ready to play a little before and after? Remember, this is the easy one. We don't really keep score either. This is just for fun. I am the adjudicator of reality, so do not answer until I call your name. I will decide. We don't need to involve Kabuki Kid for this one. If somebody hasn't had an answer and they want to feel good about themselves, I will tell Anthony he has to wait. However, you do need to answer it correctly. You can't just say, also, when you call out your name, you have to answer immediately. There's no wait, or you can't call it and then think about it. So is everyone excited? Is everybody ready?
Ready.
I'll be ready in a second. I'm just taking care of Anthony's box situation.
Oh, isn't that? Hey, cool.
My friend.
Hey, just as you know, Pete, I was once promised some other
Can't hear
stuff.
you.
Okay.
Do you need my ticket number?
No, I put your name in there, and yeah, you know what? Go ahead and message it to me, and I'll throw it in here just to make it easier for her to look it up.
All right. Hang on. I'll put it in the chat for you.
Is everyone ready? Do
Yeah, go ahead.
everyone's
I'll catch up when I'm done with this email.
No. I want you to be able to answer the questions. Does anybody else have a grievance they want to air? Does anybody have any problems? Any pressing situations or whatever that's bothering you?
How about people who try to get you fired because they don't like your opinion? What do you think of that?
I'm sorry I sent that email. I thought I didn't know you'd find out about it.
Yeah. No, I mean that's happened quite a few times over the last year from people I've heard.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, actually, let me actually. I am actually one of the games. I should have mentioned this earlier, but I actually just played it with my daughter last night for the first time ever, and I'll talk more about Con of the North that's coming up here in a couple weeks more when I get closer. But I am I got one of like the first ever copies of Too Many Bones, which was that dice building RPG / board game that came out on Kickstarter last year. They got about $300,000 or something like that, and it's just yeah, and it I was like, the game like looked awesome and it looked amazing, and it's exactly that. It is both awesome and amazing. It is. Do you guys know chip theory games at all? I mean, do you?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, a bunch of awesome, cool dice. A bunch of different characters you get to play, and you level up with if you know what I'm talking about, you know what it is. If not, go check out the Kickstarter page. The game is my daughter and I goofed around with it, and my daughter we're back to playing D&D again. Actually, we got my son into it. I don't know if you saw that picture of my boy playing Dungeons and Dragons for the first time ever. I was like with Trump, and this is of course me being political again, but it was the day that Trump was sworn into office, and I was like, you know what, I want to remember this day for something way more cool than this. So my son played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time ever that night, and
you posted on Facebook. I think I saw a picture of that.
Yeah, he was super excited. He saved the day. He killed a goblin wizard, and he took the goblin wizard had a golden bowl that had dried blood in it, and he said, "Can I clean it?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can clean it." He's like, "I'm taking the golden bowl." Then he said. He was super excited. It was but it was very fun. But anyway, so my daughter really enjoys anything Dungeons and Dragons-y. And so we, so we played it and had a blast. I think you can actually pre-order it. You can still get in on the good stuff if you go to their Kickstarter page for Too Many Bones. And I'd strongly suggest checking that out.
I'm good to go now. So if you want to start your questions,
it's before and after.
Mhm.
Anyway, so can we get what version of D&D? We play old school. We don't play 5th edition. Did
you notice how he said that? 5th edition.
Yeah, we play Swords and Wizardry, which is kind of a 1st edition D&D clone, which is a fantastic rule set. I would suggest that to anybody. So, but anyway, there you go. Why isn't Maurice in here? I see Maurice is in the chat. Why isn't Mo? Maurice, you want in? Maurice, is he there? He's on the delay. I had to remember he's on the delay.
Yes, there's a 30-second delay.
I'll send him the link.
Yeah, David, send him the link, and then we'll see. And yes, Pete did get a haircut. Look at that! Look at that stylish man there. That good-looking piece of man.
Wow, thank you for noticing. Shit, my wife didn't even notice.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Go ahead.
what my older brother once gave me a piece of advice for women. He said, always like every week to 10 days, just say to your girlfriend or whatever, are you doing something different with your hair? Just because chances are they probably are, and they'll appreciate the fact that you're doing that you noticed it. My older brother was a bit of a charmer. He also managed many bars, so I'm sure he worked on his pickup strategy quite a bit. But anyway, is he coming or no?
I don't know yet. I haven't heard back. But
right.
I will say, while we wait for him, this is the last chance to pre-order 1754 Conquest, the French and Indian War from Academy Games. It's going to end. The pre-order is going to end February 5th. And if you order early, obviously you're going to get it first because you're going to be who it ships first too. But it also you get the native expansion with the base game, and I think there's like a sticker in there you can get for $5 that's signed by the designers or something like that.
Hey, when's the Vikings game coming out?
We are, of course, there's issues getting the video done on time, so that's all we're waiting for is the video. So we should have that to Kickstarter. Hopefully, I'm hoping in the next 4 weeks.
When am I getting my Mare Nostrum map that I paid for?
I just found out the other day that it is in. I didn't even know that it was in, so I will find out about that tomorrow.
Send out this drive-through reviews.
Carol,
I'll tell you the funny story. So I gotten the review copy of Strike of the Eagle.
Yes.
And David so nicely put Secret Cabal on the address thing. So I get an email this week from Ashley over at Academy, letting me know that she wants to send something out for me to review, and she's like, "Just want to make sure that the information I have is correct." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yep, it's all correct except for the Secret Cabal part." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I said, "No, that's okay." I said, "It's a joke me and David have going." She's like, "Okay, I updated everything. I took it out." She's like, "No one made me aware of the joke." I'm like, "It's okay, it's fine." So she goes, "I updated everything. I get the shipping notice today. Secret Cabal."
Nope. You know why?
Because you changed it again.
No, I don't have access to that system.
No.
But yeah, I put you on the list for that. So I figured you want it.
Hey, you can hook me up with a copy of the 1754 there, buddy?
You told me you weren't reviewing games anymore.
Oh, really? When did I say that? Anywho,
Mine's coming Friday.
I certainly can.
All right, well, we'll make that happen. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. This is before and after. Before and after is the game in which I will put two things. I'll give you a clue that is the combination of two things. They could be people, places, things. But let's be honest, they're mostly people. And they will be a combination of those two things. They have something in common. The one that I always use for the description is the wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts and the man who played Han Solo. And the answer is, of course, Marvin Harrison Ford. So your buzzer is your name. So, Barry, what's your buzzer?
David.
Very good. All right. Like I said, I will be the adjudicator of reality, so I will call upon you. Do not answer until I call your name. And also, like I said, if Anthony is getting too many, I'll call on somebody else.
Boo.
Boo. All right. Here we go. Is everyone excited? I got 25 of these suckers. Let's go going.
Oh my God.
This is
Jesus Christ.
a jewelry store slogan loved Ben Affleck's brother.
What?
A jewelry store slogan loved Anthony.
Every kiss begins with Casey Affleck.
Every kiss begins with Casey Affleck. Well
And
done.
it begins.
That one took a little bit. I thought Anthony would be all over that one. All right, here we go. Ophelia in Trading Places dates Booger from Revenge of the Nerds.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Jamie Lee Curtis Strong.
And
Keith.
Keith.
Jamie Lee Curtis Armstrong.
That is
Okay.
correct. That is correct. Well done.
See?
Yeah,
There we
see?
go.
See,
It's
you
all
gotta
tied
get it.
up.
You gotta get it correct. You got it. There's no score. This is just for fun. All
For
right.
you.
Angelina Jolie's ex-husband did not play for the 1971 World Champs.
Keith.
Keith.
Brad Pittsburgh Pirates.
Brad Pittsburgh Pirates is correct. Where were we on that one, Anthony?
I was thinking of Billy Bob. I went straight to Billy
Yeah,
Bob.
see, yeah, that's
I was like Billy Bob Thorntony something.
I'm tricksy like that. I'm tricksy. All right. Cleveland comic and game show host cares about that fort in Texas.
Anthony. Drew Carey, remember the Alamo.
Nope. You said it. You repeated yourself. Somebody else want to jump in and get the point? You said re-remember. You said re-remember when you Drew Carey remember the Alamo.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not even stealing that one.
Okay.
I mean, I knew Drew Carey, but what the?
Yeah.
Drew Carey.
Next.
The medic in Saving Private Ryan sings this famous cover song Robert Plant took to number 3 in 1985.
What?
This one's for David. I was hoping David would get this one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got an email from.
Okay. You turn off your email when I'm doing this.
Jesus.
Here, David, listen. The medic in Saving Private Ryan sings the cover song Robert Plant took to number 3 in 1985.
I don't remember who the medic is, so I'm lost.
Okay.
Oh.
Gotta be honest.
Anthony. Giovanni Ribisi of Love.
That is right. Giovanni
I had the
Ribisi.
first part. I just have no clue on the song.
Yeah, I don't even remember him being in the movie, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Fine. Jeez. I'm a doctor, Jim, not the supermodel from Weird Science.
Oh, God.
Keith.
DeForest Kelly LeBrock.
DeForest Kelly LeBrock.
I could remember. Believe it or not, I remembered her name. I completely forgot his.
Yeah, it's the same. I remember
I
Kelly
like
LeBrock.
Bones McCoy.
Bones Kelly LeBrock.
I was sitting here thinking, Jim, boy, what?
Here we go. I like this one. Pineapple homeowner sings a song against sagging trousers.
Anthony.
Oh,
Anthony.
God damn it.
SpongeBob SquarePants on the ground.
Yes. Like I said, I like that one.
Ground pants on.
That guy recently passed away. That's sad. Anyway. Okay, where am I? I'm sorry, I was just Jack Burton plays quarterback for the Seahawks.
Oh, Pete. Kurt Russell Wilson.
Kurt Russell Wilson. Good job, Pete. You're on the board. Barry, where are you on this one?
I'm around.
Okay, just checking in. All right.
Too busy checking out Delve on Kickstarter.
The writer of Androids and Electric Sheep plays Miserlou.
I got the first half.
The writer of Androids and Electric Sheep plays
Keith.
Miserlou. Keith.
Philip K. Dick Dale.
Philip K. Dick Dale. Correct. David, is your microphone working?
Hmm?
That's what I thought. All right, here we go. Indiana Jones visits Bill Clinton's home state.
Oh, Pete.
Pete.
Raiders of the Lost Arkansas.
Raiders of the Lost Arkansas.
Wait, go back. Wait. Go back and do that again.
Indiana Jones visits Bill Clinton's home state.
Okay.
Were you going to call me out on something? Were you going to be all like...
in my head, it was Harrison Ford visits. That's what I was thinking. So how did...
I only get a couple of these a night. Please don't take away my thunder. That's probably the last one I'm going to get now.
All right. The all-time strikeout king drills Deadpool with a heater.
Anthony. Nolan Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, this one's got Anthony written all over it. Anthony, if you don't get this one, I'm going to be very upset with you. Leah Thompson 90s sitcom goes cattle driving with Jack Palance.
What the hell's her name in the show? Oh, Anthony. Grace and the City Slickers.
Leah Thompson 90s sitcom goes Keith.
Caroline and the City Slickers.
Caroline and the City Slickers.
I couldn't remember her name.
A mad black woman been caught stealing. This one might be tough.
What? Do it again.
A mad black woman been caught stealing. Keith.
Mary Jane's Addiction.
And you're on the right track. A mad black woman been caught stealing. Did I finally stump you guys? This one might have been a little bit tough. So this was Tyler Perry Farrell. Perry Farrell is the lead singer of Jane's Addiction. So
Tyler Perry Farrell.
Tyler Perry Farrell. Yep. All right, here we go. A tyrant lizard was the coach of the Jets and the Bills.
Keith. Tyrannosaurus Rex Ryan.
Yep. Now I am so mad. I have something a comment to make after this one, but I don't want to give anything away. The assistant DA on Law and Order had this surgery when his throat hurt.
God.
I'm so mad Jim Philly isn't here tonight. I wrote that one for him.
Oh, what the hell?
The assistant DA on Law and Order had this surgery when his throat hurt. Jim mentions his name in every contest.
Who watches Law and Order?
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. Anthony.
Sam Waterston's colectomy.
Yeah, Sam Waterston.
All right.
Tonsillectomy. Here we go.
You're right. I didn't need to know that one. Yep, you're right.
Here we go. The bad attitude of the A-team reads The Wasteland. The bad attitude of the A-team reads The Wasteland.
Got the first part, just don't have the second part.
Yep. The bad attitude of the A-team reads The Wasteland.
David.
B.A.
Obama sucks ass.
Correct. That would be incorrect.
Repeat that one more time.
The bad attitude of the A-team reads The Wasteland. The Wasteland is a famous poem.
Oh. Fuck. I don't know if you're thinking real name or
Mr. T.S. Eliot.
Oh.
Creepy Family Feud host goes to high school with James Vanderbeek.
Oh, Pete.
Pete.
That's Jack Dawson's Creek.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Richard Dawson's Creek.
Richard Dawson's Creek. This one I was proud of. Inigo Montoya carries 10,000 books with him. Inigo Montoya carries 10,000 books with him. Inigo Montoya carries 10,000 books with him.
Anthony.
Mandy
Patinkin.
Yeah, Mandy Patinkin.
I had Mandy Patinkin. I couldn't get the rest. I had no idea.
I never even thought.
Well done, Anthony.
That was horseshit. I'm thinking carry books.
The funny thing is I'm getting these right, and I feel less smart for knowing these things.
Female daytime talk show host does not give you free money for landing on her.
Anthony.
Oprah
Winfrey Parking.
Yep, Oprah Winfrey Parking. Very good. Septuple Marriage Musical wrote the original fairy tales.
Anthony.
7
Brides for 7 Brothers Grimm.
There you go. You're on a roll.
Yeah, now Anthony's just going.
David, are you paying attention?
Back to normal.
No.
David, just pay attention to the next.
Somebody is asking me about video work and it's money, so I got to answer it. That's all.
Oh, can you tell?
Should.
I'm done. I just finished it.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Anyway.
I just want you to, because I think I have there's one in here I definitely want you to hear. Okay, so I want you. Okay, so here we go. Luke Skywalker watches Gabriel Byrne shoot John Turturro in a Coen Brothers gangster movie.
Holy shit.
Yep. Luke Skywalker. This is probably my favorite Coen Brothers movie. Luke Skywalker watches Gabriel Byrne shoot John Turturro in a Coen Brothers gangster movie. Luke Skywalker watches Gabriel Byrne shoot John Turturro in a Coen Brothers gangster movie. Mark Hamiller's Crossing.
I just got it as you were saying it.
Yeah, Mark Hamiller's Crossing. If you haven't seen Miller's Crossing, that is that's probably one of the best gangster movies of all time.
I haven't seen that.
It's such a good movie. It's just ridiculously good.
Isn't Albert Finney in that?
He is, and he's amazing in the movie. So, all right.
Only 16 more to go.
Yeah, he reminded me of Ghostbusters when he's doing the shock therapy, and the guy's guessing. He's like, "Are you're not enjoying this?" No, well, that's okay. We've only got 18 more to go. All right, here we go. Is that right? Are you paying attention?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The CEO of Club Fantasy tastes great on ribs, chicken, and burgers.
Keith.
David.
Lowry seasoning salt. David Lowry seasoning salt.
David Lowry seasoning salt is correct.
Keith actually buzzed in first on that one.
I know, but I'm giving it to David. Just because I had David in it. And technically David's last name isn't spelled the same as
no. But that is what they called me, seasoned salt in boot camp.
You know you've arrived when you've made it onto his before and after.
Yeah. I might have to okay.
Anthony Ricano sleep till Brooklyn.
Childs from The Thing wants to infect the best late night talk show host ever. That's my opinion. Of course.
Anthony. Keith David Letterman.
And David Letterman is the greatest talk show host, late night talk show host ever. There's no question. I think I only got 2 left. Yeah, I got 2 left. All right, Barry, we're gonna let Barry try to answer these.
Why?
Because it's fun. I want you to get one. I want you to feel good about yourself before you go to bed tonight. I once again am very proud of this one. The Windtalkers' language was not spoken in Stalag 13.
Keith.
Barry, you got a guess?
Keith.
Can I guess, Barry?
No, actually. No.
Navajo Hogan's Heroes.
Navajo Hogan's Heroes. I was very proud of that one.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember who the Windtalkers were.
Yeah, me neither.
I couldn't remember. I get Kelly's Heroes and Hogan's Heroes mixed up all the time.
I like Kelly's Heroes. That's a good movie. I mean, the obviously the hippie tank commander is completely out of place in World War II, but still, it has that really great moment where they walk up to talk to the guy, the German guy in the Tiger tank, and then the next, like, they go through the whole thing is like, we could fight and whatever, but or you could just turn your turret around and you and I could leave here with a lot of gold. And the next thing you see the front door of the bank just getting blown up. It's good stuff. Spoiler alert for a 50-year-old movie. And the last before and after, and this has got Anthony written all over it because it has to do with sports. Pitcher has a surgery named after him, stays at a hotel run by Basil Fawlty.
Anthony. I gave him a chance. Tommy John Cleese.
Tommy John Cleese.
I knew it was Tommy. When I went, I knew it was Tommy John, but
I couldn't get the hotel part.
Half yet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you guys watch Fawlty Towers? It's
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-mm.
I gotta send you. I gotta buy that for you and send you. If you enjoy John Cleese, and he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Fawlty Towers it's basically like take a sitcom and make him like the guy, and he just can't win, and he just slowly but surely loses his mind running this little bed and breakfast hotel in the hills of England, and with these people that, I mean, it had it had 8 episodes, 10 episodes total, or something like that.
I don't think it's that many. I think it's 6 for some reason.
Yeah, and here, hold on. And they had 2 seasons, and the seasons were 12 episodes, 12 episodes. So 2 seasons of 6 episodes each. And they literally had 2 seasons that were 4 years apart. They had and by the time because his wife actually plays a role in the movie in the first season, they got a divorce in the meantime before they actually came back and did another 6 episodes in 1979. So, but yeah, well worth the watch. Who else has seen Fawlty Towers? Anthony, I know you have.
Never heard of it.
Really?
I actually watched the first season on the plane coming home from India last time.
It's the Germans. It's if you haven't
Manuel
watched
just
it,
passed away.
Yeah, I saw that. That's sad. Andrew Sachs.
Yep.
And there's this Spaniard that's like the waiter / gopher kind of thing, and he just and Basil Fawlty basically just, John Cleese takes out all of his aggression on him over everything. So yeah, I mean, seriously, if you like Monty Python and you like that British type of humor, definitely worth checking out. And also I loved the Colonel, the drunk senile guy. He was so good in that show too. There's this guy who lives at the hotel, and he was excellent. And just such a good show. Anyway, so there you go. Well, thank you all. I hope you found them as clever as I did, because I'm pretty ingenious when I come up with those, if I say so myself. Just breaking my arm here, pat myself on the back. This is where you say, "Yeah, good job, Lance. Thanks."
Don't hurt yourself.
Good job, Lance.
Oh, thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Oh. Are we gonna play your crappy initials now?
Initials.
Yeah, we can play initials now.
All right. So Kabuki Kid is in the house, I saw. So Kabuki Kid, you do have to be the adjudicator of reality. this time around because this is for the marbles. So I'll let Anthony do the introduction since he is running. He is the champ who runs the camp, so to speak.
All right, from the studios in Culver City, California, here is Initials. Da, da, da.
All of you people, close your chat window so you're not seeing the answers that these people are posting.
Okay.
Yeah, because we keep telling them do not post the answers in the live chat, and they do not listen.
That wouldn't even help me anyway. I got like a 2-minute delay on the chat. By the time it did, he would have answered it anyway.
All right. So we're going to go through. I have 18 here, well, 17 and a tiebreaker if needed. People, places, things, all starting with the same initials. I will give you 5 hints for each one. If you know the answer, you buzz in by saying your name. You have 5 seconds to answer.
Why is he getting garbled now?
Now
Why
he's
now?
getting garbled. He's been perfect all night.
I didn't do anything.
You must have raised your voice and your microphone got scared and moved with its auntie and uncle to Bel Air.
It sounds like you have marbles in your mouth and you're talking right now.
I didn't do anything. I didn't. Is it still going?
You just maybe move the microphone a little bit away from your face, and
Is that better?
Hey, Maurice is here, everyone.
Is that better?
It is better, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Or at least it's a cardboard standee of Maurice's face being propped up, or he's so happy he's frozen in time.
Okay, so let me finish my spiel. So everyone who is in the live chat, if you would like to have a chance to win a fabulous prize.
The prize is fabulous.
Well, a prize. You can send me a tweet right now with your guess on who you think is going to win and how many they are going to score. So tweet at CBJ Podcast. Your guess right now.
Oh, let me see. What can we give away? Here, let me just this
I
time
got
around.
Keith with 6.
That's probably pretty accurate.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I could send out maybe a couple of small box games.
There's some small box games. Don't take a lot of room.
We'll take a little room.
A little bit of fun in a short amount of time. Small footprint on the table.
What? Who? What? When?
Initials?
He hasn't given them yet, David. Thank you for paying attention.
I was seeing if Mo was going to make it or not.
He's having network difficulties, so it's not looking probable.
Okay, so in the meantime, the initials for tonight.
Oh wait! I need a piece of paper. Hold on.
You will have.
They should be prepared, Lance.
Hey, shut up! I'll type it in a notepad. Hold on.
All right, you'll have about 15 seconds to write names down. Guesses?
Lay it on me.
All right, tonight's initials are J T. J T. J as in Jehovah's Witness. T as in Taliban.
JT.
J and T. I sure hope it's more esoteric 18th century political figures from the Middle East again. That made for a fun initials last time.
Nobody was born after 12 AD.
Excellent. How do we have 28 viewers tonight? How did this even happen? I have no idea. This is crazy.
All right.
People are bored.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Probably
All right,
not.
cool. Let's do this.
Okay. Item number 1. Born February 28th, 1957 in Brooklyn, New York.
Keith's Googling that date right now. Famous people born on this day.
Holds dual citizenship in the U.S. and Italy.
David.
David.
I'm guessing. John Turturro.
John Turturro is correct.
Woo!
Whoa!
First film appearance as an extra in Raging Bull. Has appeared in more Spike Lee movies than anyone else except Spike Lee. And will always have work as long as Adam Sandler and the Coen brothers are making movies.
I enjoy John Turturro.
He's quite talented.
He is. I love him as the Jesus in Big Lebowski.
All right, here we go. Item number 2.
Good guess there, David. Well done.
Thank you.
Born March 12th, 1948.
Okay.
Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2000.
Keith.
Keith.
Jim Thorpe.
Incorrect.
Oh,
You might have missed.
I don't know.
David. David.
David.
Joe Theismann.
Incorrect.
Damn it. We took 2 of the most popular JTs in sports.
All right, clue number 3. This lived in the building next to the Dakota and ran into Mark David Chapman just 24 hours before he fatally shot John Lennon.
Pete.
James
Taylor.
James Taylor is correct.
Oh, you didn't say. Oh, Hall of Fame. Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I got it. Thanks,
Yeah.
Pete.
The other clues were, despite a great amount of success, did not have a #1 album until 45 years into his career. And he's seen fire and he's seen rain. All right, Pete won, David won.
we couldn't have put something like popular schizophrenic or something like that.
There were so many things to possibly put.
Just seeing if this is on. Okay. There.
All right, there you go. Okay, here we go. Number 3. Born the youngest of 6 children in Englewood, New Jersey. Hit the Billboard Top 100 in 1976.
What year? I didn't catch it. Sorry.
1976.
1976.
Turned down the lead role in 2 movies that became huge hits for Richard Gere.
Oh my God.
Has shared the screen with acclaimed actors Robert Duvall, Gene Hackman, Forrest Whitaker, and Harvey Keitel.
Why am I not?
Final clue. Unlike most Hollywood actors, his love life seems to be out of the news. He's been linked with Diana Hyland, Kelly Preston, and an unnamed masseuse.
David, John Travolta.
John Travolta is correct.
Oh, John Travolta.
No! I couldn't get my name out of my face. Oh.
All right,
That's
David,
got a sting.
it's all a rumor.
The Family Guy thing where he's like, I'm gonna do stuff with her. Yeah.
I'm gonna kiss her and I'm gonna grab a penis. No, I'm not gonna grab a penis.
Horrible.
All right, here we go. David 2, Pete 1. Item number 4. Born January 3rd, 1892.
Are they still alive?
As a child, was bitten by a baboon spider in the family garden in South Africa. Learned in several languages, including English,
Pete.
Esperanto. Pete,
J.R.R. Tolkien.
that is correct.
Like 4 initials with 2 initials. I'm just saying.
His first name is Joseph. Joseph Tolkien. That's correct.
A baboon spider.
A baboon spider. After his death in 1973, his son published a series of works based on his father's extensive notes. And while he has written many things, he is best known for telling the tale of an uncle and his nephew.
Oh, that's a good. I like that last. Clue.
That's a nice workaround.
That's a very good. That would have been a really good first clue. Like
that was much better than Lance's clues.
All right, here we go.
wow.
Oh,
I'm right here, David.
I think you know that, Lance.
Item number 5. Born July 8th, 1944 in San Francisco.
The San Francisco treat.
Made his Broadway debut in 1976 with George C. Scott.
What year? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
76.
Another 76.
If you don't understand what I'm saying, assume it's 76. His guest appearance on Barney Miller has made internet fodder in the past year.
Oh, man.
Keith. Jeffrey Tambor.
Jeffrey Tambor is correct.
Damn it. Good job.
He's been nominated for 7 Emmys, but only won 1, and for a show that's not actually on TV. And hey now, you should have gotten this already.
That's awesome. I couldn't think of his name. Oh, that's good.
All right.
Dang it.
So, here we go.
I am horrible this week.
Here we go. Next item. Born July 18th, 1940. One-time MVP, 15-time All-Star, and 4-time Lance.
Joe Theismann.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Pete?
Jim Thorpe.
Incorrect. All right, I'll finish the clue. One-time MVP, 5-time All-Star, 4-time World Series champion.
Oh, World Series. God dang it.
Shot a little bit too soon.
Yes, we did.
First player in the National League to hit 4 double plays in 1 game.
Son of a.
David, I'm guessing. I can't remember the name.
Yes, David.
Jim Thorpe.
No.
Still incorrect.
That is.
What did you say?
That's who Pete said also.
I know. Well, I knew you said a Thorpe, but I was thinking it was a different name.
All right. Next clue. Has managed all 3 major league teams he played for: the Mets, Braves, and Cardinals, as well as the Yankees and Dodgers.
God.
Okay, now I'm stupid. Absolutely.
Oh, since he already guessed him.
Final clue. Now makes a living in the head office, making stupid rules and judgments. Keith.
Joe Torre.
Joe Torre is correct.
Yeah, nicely done. Dang it.
I just waited till you guys answered everything.
I had no idea, though, that Torre was that many time All-Star.
I think, can we just write down the fact that this is the first time in our initials that somebody has answered the exact same answer that was proven to be incorrect before?
So Joe Torre.
There was a Jim Thorpe in baseball, wasn't there? Wasn't there?
Joe Torre won went to 9 All-Star games as a player and managed 6 All-Star teams.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. That one was kind of misleading, but still good.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Who's the Thorpe in baseball that was popular?
Well, but here's the deal. He's not even if there was, which there isn't. You don't have Jim Thorpe, the baseball Jim Thorpe.
No. I thought Pete had said a different Thorpe.
Yeah.
In my head, that's what was stuck. So that's all right.
All right. So right now we're tied. Keith has 2, Pete has 2, David has 2.
And Barry and I are just like staring at the wall, apparently.
Here we go. Born in Oklahoma, where the wind goes whipping down the plain. Has been a giant, a cardinal, a bulldog, and an Indian.
Keith. Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe is correct.
Stole it.
Has 2 Olympic gold medals, one which was taken away and then reinstated.
I'm looking at him right now.
His given name means bright path, and Bo Jackson better damn sure know who he is.
Yeah.
All right, Keith takes the lead. Still anybody's game. Next item. Born November 7th, 1956, in Oak Park, Illinois. Has released 5 albums, including A Space Goddessy and Attention Butt Pirates and Lesbitarians.
I'm sorry, what?
The album is called Attention Butt Pirates and Lesbitarians.
Okay.
Spokesperson for Diet Dr. Pepper in 1988.
Oh, well, that's a giveaway.
Oh, shit.
Has appeared in several shows and videos of fellow accordion-playing friend Weird Yankovic. Lance got him. I think Lance got it. Hold on. We'll have to go and check that.
Oh, damn it.
I didn't hear that last clue.
Lance, go ahead.
Judy Tenuta.
Judy Tenuta is correct.
Oh, my.
The accordion. The accordion
Yes.
gave it away. I can
You are my
still-
puppet. You are my sock puppet.
The last clue was, contrary to all the rumors, she and Emo Phillips have never had a romantic relationship.
Oh, God. I used to watch her show. Her little love puppet skit used to crack me up all the time. God damn it.
I
And
never would remember.
Lance is on the board.
Yes. I didn't get skunked. I'm not in Berryland.
Didn't she used to be a VJ or something as well?
Yeah, she was. She was an MTV. And what was her catchphrase? She'd play the accordion and like say something like "You all
What?
stink."
What's up, pigs?
Yeah,
what's
there
up,
you go.
pigs?
Yeah, she was.
Damn.
Uh,
That hurts because it was like on the tip of my tongue after your second clue.
Lesbitarians. I'll have to listen to that.
Attention, Butt Pirates and Lesbitarians. Great name. All right, here we go. Next item. Born August 27th, 1970, in Peoria, Illinois.
David.
David?
Oh shit, this is gonna be wrong.
Say Jim Thorpe. Say Jim Thorpe.
Justin Timberlake.
No, incorrect.
He's not mine.
I'm sorry. Whew.
Selected as an afterthought in the 13th round of the draft in 1989. Has played for 6 major league teams, including 2 stints with the Indians and Phillies. He's 7th on the all-time home run list with 612.
Oh, Lance.
Lance.
Jim Thorpe.
No, it is a Jim though. It's Jim Thome. He's like my favorite player.
Jim Thome is correct.
He hit a home run out of when he came and played for the Twins for like 2 years, and like there was like a late inning game. He hit a home run that still hasn't landed in like the 10th inning to win the game. It was ridiculous. It was awesome.
All right.
I still watch that clip over and over again.
We have us a game here. So Keith has 3, Lance has 2, David has 2, Pete has 2, Barry is still breathing. All right, here we go. Next item. Born July 12th, 1948. He's the teller of the Lone Ranger story. Has played recurring characters on Mork and Mindy and Murphy Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, damn
Pete?
it. I can picture him.
Pete?
Jay Thomas?
Jay Thomas is correct.
Oh, I didn't know if I was going to get his last name right.
The last 2 clues were, upon hearing him say something about the actress playing his wife on a popular TV show, they immediately killed him off. His character was run over by a Zamboni.
I only reason I know that is because he was actually on Letterman. I remember it was a while back.
Every year he told the story of meeting the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, that's the only reason I remember. I just couldn't remember his last name.
And can put co-star of Mr. Holland's Opus and he's playing the Easter Bunny on his resume. All right, here we go. Next one. Born June 7th, 1909 in Hackney, London, England.
I'm sorry, 1909.
1909.
Are they still alive?
Began acting career in London with roles opposite
Keith.
Sir Lawrence. Yeah, Keith.
Jessica Tandy.
Jessica Tandy is correct.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Oh,
I never got that one.
Wow.
Her original first roles were against opposite Laurence Olivier and John Gielgud. Won a Tony Award in 1948 in a three-way tie with two others. Often appeared in films with her husband of 52 years.
Hugh Cronin, right?
Yep. Her most iconic films came later in her career with films like Cocoon, Fried Green Tomatoes, and Driving Miss Daisy.
So this, I'm just going to throw this out to everybody who's listening and everybody who's playing right now. As good as Keith is at this game, it's sad that Anthony is twice as good. I mean, just think about that for a second. I mean, it's crazy. Anyway,
everybody's got a skill. Some of ours are useful, some aren't. It's okay.
Like mine was like as soon as he said acted, I'm like, the only actors on my list were Jessica Tandy. So I guessed.
So that was going to be my question: is why is that the one actor name you remember? Do you have a fetish for Jessica Tandy?
No, I can't think of any other actors with a JT.
Wow.
Okay, no, I do have some others, but they're not the right age. And Travolta's already gone. We'll see if the other actors on my list on there.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Next item. Born July 15th, 1952 in Queens, New York.
Oh, shit, it can't be that one.
Turn off your messenger. Nobody getting secret messages.
Everybody's getting answers, yeah.
All right, ready? Died April 23rd, 1991 in New Orleans, Louisiana. Has been referred as a doll and a heartbreaker.
Oh, is that Pete?
No, I can't think of any other actors with a JT.
Shoot. Nah, I forgot it. Damn it.
Get him out of there. Get him out of there.
I think I know what it is. I just can't think of the first name. Damn it.
You gone?
You're gone. See you later.
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh,
5, 4,
okay.
3, 2, 1. He's out of time.
Many rumors about his overdose have circled, with someone from the Ramones stating that he was actually killed.
I know
sorry.
it.
What?
Damn
No.
it.
What? Anthony, he's talking over. Can I have that again?
It said rumors surrounding his death from an overdose have been fueled because of Dee Dee Ramone's claim that he heard that he was killed.
Dee Dee Ramone.
Damn it.
Come on, David, you should know this. Keith.
Jethro Tull?
No.
What?
No.
Person.
I don't care. I'm guessing.
He's still alive.
I don't know.
The only person I can think of is Sid Vicious.
Well, it's not it either.
I'm just naming names. Leave me alone.
I don't know much more about this guy. Let's see.
Are we out of clues?
I only wrote down 4, but I thought someone would get it by now.
Yeah, I know who it is. I buzzed in and blanked earlier.
We have no idea.
Is it Johnny Thunders?
It's Johnny Thunders.
Yeah. I would have never. I was never much into the punk scene. If you had said his name, I know who he is, but I never would have thought of him.
Yeah, it hit me when he said Ramones, and that's the clue that gave it away. But I buzzed in early and didn't get it, so I don't get credit.
The most famous person ever in punk music is Sid Vicious, and that's who I would have automatically went to.
All right.
So no point. Point goes
Lance,
to
you can start
Anthony.
picking on my shitty answers when you catch up to me.
Okay, here we go. Next item. Born September 2nd, 1941 in Washington, D.C.
Are they still alive?
Selected 25th overall by the Boston Celtics in the 1964 NBA draft. Played 2 seasons, won 2 championships, and retired.
Oh, crap.
6 years later, he began the job he would hold for the next 27 years.
Ah!
No, he's white if he played for the Celtics back then.
Oh yeah, I know his. Okay.
Has 2 Olympic medals, 1 gold, 1 bronze. Final clue. Among the players he coached were Sleepy Floyd, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, Allen Iverson, and Patrick Ewing.
Oh.
Pete.
Pete.
Is it John Thompson?
John Thompson is correct.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Dude, I had to pull that one.
1 gold, 1 bronze.
I thought it was John Thompson. I just didn't pull the trigger because I wanted that last quote. I went, dang it.
I was going to put his nickname in the NBA was the Caddy. You know why?
Mm-mm.
He only played 2 seasons because he was Bill Russell's backup.
Wow.
All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Here we go. Born September 16th. No year.
That's awesome.
Are they still alive?
What the hell?
Well done.
Okay, has 13 money finishes in the World Series of Poker and 1 bracelet.
Keith,
I don't know poker players.
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly is correct.
Nice. Oh.
Both she and her sister go by their mother's maiden name and not their real last name, Chan. Although not known for her big lead roles, her presence and voice are always memorable, and best known as the Bride of Chucky and Bonnie Swanson on Family Guy.
Oh my God, that's
she's
poker
Bonnie?
player? I didn't realize she was Bonnie from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's really done a ton of crap that we just don't think about.
Yeah. I didn't even get Bride of Chucky either.
She is she's either married or with another poker player, a really good poker player too, Phil Locke.
Yep.
I remember hearing that she liked poker, but I had no idea she was that competitive.
I didn't think she was that good.
If you follow Phil Locke and like his blogs, like he is like really out there. Like he believes that basically like extrasensory perception and things like that. Like he buys into that stuff as far as
She started playing because she'd go to the tournaments and then was bored.
Yeah.
So she just figured she'd start playing and then she liked it. So.
And she got good.
Yep.
So.
All right, here we go. Born December 25th, 1971 in Ontario, Canada.
It's a good year to be born.
He and his father are the first of their kind.
Keith.
Justin Trudeau is correct. They're the first father and son to both serve as Prime Minister of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the leader of the Liberal Party since 2013. Gotten a bit of hot water for declaring that Fidel Castro was a remarkable leader who was larger than life and served his people. Well,
to serve man.
In 2017, his response to President Trump's executive order restricting immigrants from 7 countries, he stated that his country would welcome all those seeking refuge. All right, 3 to go. I think Keith may have this close to locked up. Let's see. Keith got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keith's got 6, right?
Keith's got 4.
All right. Pete's still in it. Here we go. Born June 20th, 1960. As a boy, he wore glasses, loved James Bond films, and playing war games with miniature painted soldiers. He's not related to his 2 bandmates who share his last name. It's just a coincidence. Has been a member of 2 supergroups.
David, where are you on this one?
All right, final clue. Buzzer's ready. His most famous band is named after a character from the movie Barbarella.
I
don't
know.
know this person.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I won't get it with 100 more clues.
Come on. Wait a minute, David. David, come on, buddy.
He said supergroups, and that means nothing to me. Because half the time it's just three.
Yeah, but you gotta know. But you gotta know who like the lead singer of Duran Duran is. I can't think of the guy's name.
John Taylor. Simon Le Bon's the lead singer of Duran Duran.
John Taylor is correct.
There you go.
Way to go, Dave.
Yeah, way to go, David.
But what was the other supergroup then? I know the Power Station.
And he's in that group that the guys from Guns N' Roses put together after Guns N' Roses.
Velvet.
Must be a really great supergroup.
Velvet
Revolver.
Or that it
Yeah,
exists.
Revolver, that's it.
No, it's not Velvet Revolver. They were in.
Oh, the other one. Whatever foot.
LA Guns?
No.
Whatever foot. Something foot. Isn't it something foot? I can't remember the first
Oh,
one.
Chicken Foot is Sammy Hagar.
Chickenfoot, Sammy Hagar, yeah.
Joe Satriani.
Oh God, what the fuck is the
I
name
can't.
of
There
that
was
guy?
another one. I can't think of what it is either. But LA Guns was that's when Tracy Guns left Guns N' Roses. Tracy Guns started Guns N' Roses with Axl Rose. That's where they get their name, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, Neurotic Outsiders is the other one.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, that was Duff McKagan, Matt Sorum, Billy Idol, Steve Stevens, Steve Jones, and John Taylor.
Wow.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of that one.
Yeah.
All right. Dave's got that one. Okay, here we go. Next clue. Born July 28th, 1979.
Pete,
Pete?
Justin Timberlake?
Eh.
Nah, I had to take a stab at it.
For the
Jim Thorpe.
All right, July 28th, 1979. For the past couple of years, has had his hands in a lot of wallets.
Oh, shit.
Became well noticed in 2013 for bringing pixels back. He's always ready for a maximum throwdown.
Oh, Keith.
Keith.
Shit.
5,
Fuck. I
4,
just forgot his name.
3, 2.
He's been on our damn show.
Thank you for playing, sir. Wrong answer.
Damn it. I completely blanked on his damn name. Oh.
Go ahead and say John Travolta.
Yeah, he's out of time. He's out of time. Next.
I'm out of time. Keep going, guys. You guys should know this.
Last clue is the president and owner of Button Shy Games.
No, I don't know. I can't remember his name. I just met him
God
at
damn it.
BGG Con.
I'll say it after you guys are done. Because I know it. It just blanked.
He's been on our show.
4,
No, he hasn't. I got myself confused for a second.
3,
I've just
2,
played games with
No
him
idea.
before.
1.
It's
Oh,
Jason.
I remember
Jason
What?
Tagmeyer.
Yeah.
Tagmeyer.
Oh yeah. I never. Oh, damn it.
I knew someone was going to say Timberlake when I said his birthday. But those are good clues for the past couple of years. His hands in a lot of wallets.
The throwdown I had in the Pixel Link, and then I said it, buzzed it, and his name just went.
All right. Well, Keith, you're the winner.
Is that
We
it?
have one more. You have one more, but you can't be beat.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But it matters because if he gets it right,
Right.
Yeah, do I want to throw this for somebody I like?
No,
or
you
do
just
I
want to
wanna get it
guess.
right?
Just guess.
All right. Here we go. Last clip. Last initial. Last whatever. Born July 9th, 1952 in Garden City, New York.
Pete,
Pete.
Joe Theismann.
No.
I'm done.
just not even an no. It's not Jim Thorpe either.
Okay,
It's just a Timberlake.
He's aged well.
Oprah Winfrey covered the same news stories while they were both TV reporters in Nashville, Tennessee in the 70s. Although a gifted musician from the age of 6 did not pursue music until 1987 when he asked his friend Yanni if he could join his touring band.
David.
Um,
John Tesh.
John Tesh is correct.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one.
Wait, since then, he's released 54 albums of music in genres from pop to contemporary to worship. And the last clue was, for many years, he was the non-seizure-inducing half of the Entertainment Tonight TV show crew.
He did the themes for like tons of things. Like he did the themes for like NBA basketball and stuff like that.
And NBA on NBC. That rocket ball thing. He wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a really talented musician.
And if you ever go to one of his concerts, like he actually he intersperses like anecdotes about the different things, and then he like plays those themes and stuff. It's just like,
what's the tiebreaker?
Minnesota pop culture reference.
No Joe Theismann?
Yanni used to be a keyboard player in Minneapolis in the 80s rock bands and cover bands.
Nice. Do we have a tiebreaker?
We don't need a tiebreaker.
Yeah, but we want to see it anyway.
So how many did Keith get right for the win? And did we have a tweet that was correct?
Barry called it. I heard Barry say it.
Keith got 6.
What does it say?
Barry got it right.
See, Barry may not have answered a damn question, but he knew the winner.
All right, what do you want?
Okay, here we go. We have a winner, Chad Roberts.
Chad?
Who tweets as the real Donald Trump. He tweeted last week, too, as this, too. But he made one of those tweet as Donald Trump. Keith with 6, make Alaboom great again.
What do you win? Button pop?
Barbara Allen way off with Lance with 10.
Wow.
Well, who's there? She's trying to catch.
Lance with 7, Keith with 5, Lance with 5, Keith with 7.
Wow.
Nobody guessed us, Pete. Nobody.
Nope. I feel a little slighted. I think we should both feel slighted.
Why was there no Jonathan Taylor Thomas question?
I know. I had his name down too.
I had his name written down.
Same with Julia Tomlin.
That was my tiebreaker, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Was it the JPT there?
All right, so
I was waiting on it.
No, all right, I'm going to give you the name. You got to tell me why he's popular. JT Taylor.
Oh.
Never heard him.
JT Taylor. And I thought for sure Anthony was going to pop this one just to be different. Nobody? Because you're all white people.
No, I know who.
Wow, that's
Cool in the Gang, right?
Cool in the Gang.
Yeah, Cool in the Gang. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The lead singer of Cool Gang. I thought for sure Lance would get that.
Yeah, well, I'm horrible with names.
Yeah, I am too. Honestly, I this is the best I've done in initials since you guys have started. Since I've been doing it. Normally, I get 1.
Every once in a while, it just slides into place for you. You know, like
it did.
You just start picking up some things. So you have to get that guy's address and have him direct message it to you or whatever, and then I'll send him some stuff.
All right.
So
or you can send it to me and I'll give it to him. He lives here. Whatever.
Lance, you can just send me Roundhouse. I want to play that again.
Well, I have my own copy. You know,
I know. That's what I mean. I know you.
I like that game. It took me a while. It took me a couple plays to really figure it out. It's not so much the rondel. It's the playing the other game. It's the playing the other part of the board where you're moving your thing around to try to get to the different spots to get the rewards. I like
what she said.
Yeah, but yeah,
So is that initials better, Lance?
Yeah. Obviously it was competitive. It was.
I liked your initials when you do it because we don't feel stupid.
Yeah.
Because Anthony's not beating the shit out of
Yeah, I
us.
mean Keith may still win everyone, but at least it's close. When you're not doing it, it's pretty much.
Oh, come on! I did win. I did.
Keith doesn't win all of them.
When Anthony's not here. See, I didn't compete with the last time Anthony did it. I wasn't.
Yeah,
on.
that's why Lance won.
Yeah,
Oh,
he won by default.
What a smack in the face that was. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's because Anthony and I, we share the answers.
Well, obviously.
Wow.
No, good job, Anthony.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
so,
Anthony.
yeah.
So is Keith doing it next week?
When somebody puts forth a little effort and puts together something fun for his friends to do, it's nice to compliment them and tell them they did a good job.
Thanks, Anthony. Good job.
Yes.
You're welcome, my friend.
You guys suck.
Hey, I think I may have airing of grievances in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Because that'll be after the Gen Con housing bullshit.
Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta do the
Positive thinking, Keith. Positive thinking.
So I never had a problem getting a room before they went to a lottery. And ever since then, I've been like picking 437,000 out of 60,000.
Well, it's so screwed up.
You can say at the overpass of I-65 and 465 north.
Do they have free breakfast?
Only if you scrape it off the highway.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where it's like if I'm
rooming in this year.
What?
His Gloomhaven box. It's big enough. You could actually get a roommate to split cost.
I mean, we're a little early to do our complaints about it, but I mean, it definitely is one of those things where it's like, it's the one where I like to go because obviously everybody's there and it's a lot of fun to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I also, it's like one of those things too, where it's like, I like to go there as kind of a vacation. My wife likes to come with, and so it's fun to do. But if, I try to get a room, and if I can get a room, that's great. I mean, obviously now it'll be one of those things, obviously, where
you mean if your friends can get you a room and transfer to you?
Well, I mean, you did hook me up last year, right? You were the one hooking me up, right?
Keith hooked you up last year.
Yeah, like somebody.
And then he stayed with me. That's why he hooked you up.
Well, and I had a room I gave away too, because I booked an early one like you did.
So yes, there you go. So if anybody ever, I will hopefully get one, and then that'll be cool.
Don't you get one through TMG?
Well, I'll get one, but the thing is that
he doesn't want the room with a TMG person. He wants the room with the booty call.
No, I like to go. I go with my wife, obviously, and then so if we go, then it's like, it's nice to be there. I mean, if I have room with people at TMG, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, but last year they even got kind of boned and got stuck. Kind of. What?
Who boned who in the TMG room?
Yeah, that's what
you
I
know
want.
what I mean. They ended up being a little bit off campus themselves, just because.
You should ask them, see if they can do you a proper and get you a room and just let you pay for half of it, since you're not splitting it with another TMG person.
Yeah.
That's what we do at Cool Mini. If I wanted to bring my wife to a convention, I just have to pay the other half of the room and at least don't have to worry about getting blocked out.
I will. But publishers, they don't get their rooms offered until like at some point later, right? I mean, it's like
but they've blocked off a section of rooms for the.
But the thing is that they even like Michael or Daniel or whoever I was talking to last year, it's like they even they didn't. I mean, because they were complaining that big guys like you and like Final Fantasy and Asmodee, I mean, they basically had like a huge number of rooms. And the little guys just kind of like, yeah, you can have 2. It's like, well, we got 8 people coming. Yeah, you can have 2.
Right. Yeah. Well, I understand that. I think Fantasy Flight Asmodee booked over 70 rooms downtown at the Hilton. So yeah, the bigger companies are going to take a larger block.
And so then there's crumbs left over. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's like and Gen Cons. I mean, if I ended up I mean, I'll end up going to Gen Con because Gen Con is all hands on deck. That's just the mentality. It's like, I have my room for Origins. So, I mean, I maybe it'll just be a situation where, I'll see if maybe my wife and I'll just go to Origins, and just that'll be our
I like Origins better, honestly. It's less crowded and you get a lot more one-on-one time with the people that you're going there to see. I actually enjoy Origins if I was going as a consumer, I would pick Origins 9 out of 10 times over Gen Con.
And I have to miss it. That sucks.
Yeah. Origins is great. It's one of the few shows I actually have time outside of work to actually hang out with customers and hang out with my friends in the media and stuff. Gen Con, there's never any time. By the time you get done with the booth, you go back to the hotel and you're ready to die.
I like it right behind BGG Con for the ones I've been to.
Yeah, I'd say BGG, Dice Tower, but those smaller shows where you actually get more one-on-one time with people are so much better. I enjoy all three of those shows over.
And you get to play games.
And you get to play.
Unlike Gen Con. Gen Con, you don't go to play.
No, you go to work and then you go back to your room and die.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it definitely does. That is a rough one as far as that goes. I mean, it just is.
Yeah, there's an idea from the chat. You should find a house local in Indianapolis, just outside, and then rent a house and get the entire Alaboomers to kick in.
So we had a grand scheme 2 years ago to rent this compound, and we had thought about it, but it was financially it's going to be a little bit off. But I mean, it was literally how many rooms did that thing have, Lance? When we were looking at that,
it was 18 or 20 people, I think.
Yeah, it was like we had to get 18 or 20 people together. But I mean, it was a compound with like 4 kitchens and 8 bedrooms and all this crap. It was a neat idea, but yeah, we never pulled it off.
Yeah, and it was definitely something that we.
But again, renting a house in Indianapolis doesn't get you what you want because you can get hotels in Indianapolis for decent rates, just not downtown. There is a spot that is my backup hotel in Indianapolis, and it's about $120 a night, free breakfast, free Wi-Fi, and a straight shot to the convention center. It's just 15 minutes away.
Yeah, I got my boys coming this year, so I don't know if I don't stay downtown. I don't think it's gonna be that big a deal. I'm fine driving in.
As long as you have no hedgehog.
Oh no, no hedgehog this year. That thing's dead anyway.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It smelled like it.
Nice. Well, there you go. I mean, we got through our game show part. So, anybody else got any excitement going on?
I got my convention coming up in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
My local invite only convention.
How's that?
How's that? We used to go to another convention. We got tired of going because they treated us like crap, even though we the ones who have been going for years. So we said F you and we started our own.
There you go.
Fair enough.
When's your little Hope convention, Lance?
I haven't had it for a while. It's just one of those things where getting the timing and getting all my stuff together has just been really difficult. So
I'm doing one in April. I do one quarterly. Well, before I moved, I invite about 18 to 20 people over and just game out and order food and.
Bah!
What the hell was that?
Is my microphone falling over?
Mike, you tried doing a mic drop and it didn't work too well, huh?
Hey Mo, how you been?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking.
Lance, I forwarded you the winner's particulars.
Thank you, sir.
You got it.
Hey, I was trying to remember which hotel I'm staying at for Origins. When did we sign up? When did people sign up for their hotel room? I'm trying to go back through my emails.
Origins, I remember we were getting confirmation from them last month about blocking out rooms for publishers. I don't know about.
Well, no, I remember I signed up like for it. I'm just wondering if you guys remember when you did your thing. It's okay if you can't. I could. I mean, I'll find it eventually digging
I
around.
think tickets went for. I think hotels opened in like November. If
Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Yeah, I remember signing. I remember getting it, and I remember telling people it's like if you don't get it now, you're not going to get one.
I didn't get it, so that's why I don't have the information. I'll see if I can find it for you real quick.
Are you at the Hyatt Regency? Is that where you were?
I don't remember. Why?
The Hampton's the best.
Yeah, I usually stay either at the Drury or the Hyatt.
I honestly don't remember where
Registration. No, sorry. Hotels opened on September 1st, Lance.
Thanks, bud. That'll make it easier for me to go back through my crap and find this. Crown Plaza is where I'm at.
Well, that's where I was last year.
That's a fine establishment.
I remember being mildly annoyed because like it was more expensive than the other ones. But that's fine. Whatever. I got a room.
By chance, I'm not on the family vacation that exact weekend. I'll try to swing over for like 2 days.
That'd be pretty cool. The thing is that I could theoretically, I could see bringing my daughter to that one if I didn't have to work. I would. Well, yeah. It's one of those things where it's like if I have my daughter with me, then it's one of those things. If my job needs me, hey, we need you to go over and do this, that, and the other thing. Oh, well, I got my kids, so I can't do anything. That's not really fair to my job. So it's one of those things where, I mean, I have to at some point in my life bring my daughter to Gen Con just because I think she would just absolutely love it, and my son probably would too when he's a little bit older. But yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy stuff. But my daughter actually like at Con of the North, which happens on February 17th, which is like it's a 4-hour drive for me, but it is my like local big convention. As far as, and it's just all it is game playing, and I run an open board game room, which is really cool. But they my wife couldn't get the time off of work, so I'm bringing my daughter with me to that, because I'm not really working there. Kind of technically I am. We were the room sponsored by TMG and stuff, but I'm really looking forward to it. I mean, just my daughter and I just hanging out, playing games. Me freaking out if I don't find her. It's the very strict rules about having her phone on her and at all times, and the ringer on, and so I can always find her if I need to. But yeah, it'll be. I think it's she's old enough now, where being almost 10, that like, I can kind of trust her to kind of take care of herself to a certain point. But and she still thinks I'm cool too. So that's the big point. Later on, won't think I'm very cool. So got to take advantage of it while I can.
They all wise up sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, what did I say? Like I said something. I was half joking, and like it was, and this is a stupid daddy moment, but like we were playing some game on the PlayStation. I forget what it was. It's this like, I forget what the name is, but it's like a weird, it's not really Tetris, but it's like a fighting Tetris game, and like I won. What?
Palamedes?
No, it's like a weird like wizard game where you stack the stuff up and like you're trying to build your tower to a certain point, and then you can cast spells on the other person to like screw up their tower if you succeed at certain quests. It's actually pretty fun. My daughter and I have a good time with it, and so like I don't know what I said. I was like, I said I am the best. That's like I said something like I'm the best dad at this game ever, and my daughter said, like, paused it, and she said, Dad, you are the best dad. And I was like, oh, thanks, honey. And then she unpaused it when I was like wiping a tear away and then top of my tower. So, so if it was all just a ruse, I was fine with that. I still got my daughter to tell me that I was awesome. So, too bad I couldn't record it and play it for her when she's. You just don't understand me. Slam.
Oh, my friends, it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah, why don't you go to bed? You suck. Anyway,
I am right behind Keith. I'm going to bed also.
See, you guys show up for the game show and to and for the airing of grievances. And
well, if we hadn't wasted the first 30 minutes talking about politics and boring me to sleep.
Yes.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Good night.
You gotta talk a little reality now and then.
But
Save
all
it
right.
for when I'm in bed.
All right, Keither. Take care.
Night, guys.
I'm probably gonna head out early too. I'm not feeling well at all, so I'm gonna head out.
Your ability to feel isn't going well, or
no? But I think I've been staying up till 6:30 or 8:30 in the morning trying to get work done, and I think it's just kind of caught up to me. So today I started feeling a little sick. So
last night was like the first night where I said, you know what, I'm just going to go to bed. It was like 10 o'clock, and I was working on something, and I just said, tonight I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep. I was just like, I'm gonna treat myself right, and but that won't be tonight. As soon as we're done, I need to go and do more video. So, hey, Maurice, did you ever do your Day Night Z video? Did you ever get it done?
No. I never got the rule book, nor did I get the scenario book from them. And I had said to them, I need those, and they never sent them over. So I was like, all right, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to get to this because I told them that at the beginning or at the end of last week. I said, I'm not going to be able to get to it without this stuff, and they never sent it over. So that was the end of that.
They messaged me. They did message me the other day on Google Plus.
Did they?
Yeah, and they said, are you guys going to do the Day Night Z? I said, well, first of all, that's me. That's Maurice. And from what I understood, you didn't get them the stuff done on time, so I don't really know. But you're going to have to contact them. So
yeah, I got the prototype, but it was after the project had already launched, and then unfortunately they didn't send a rule book, and it's like I think 60 pages or something. And I said, hey, I need a copy of that rule book, and I also need the scenario. What are we going to play? And they said, oh, we'll send it to you. And messaged them again like a day later. Oh yeah, we sent it to you. I was like, I never got it. Send it again. And didn't hear anything for about 7 or 8 days. And I just said, hey, I've never received any of this stuff, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it.
Yeah, I got the rule book. I had to download it and print it off myself, but and they only sent me like basically a scenario and a half. Which,
yeah, it was supposed to be small. I know that they said.
Yeah, it's a total Ameritrash game. I mean, people are going to love it. It kind of like combines a little bit of the. It combines like a zombie theme. It has a little bit of what was those zombie first person shooter games that were popular for a couple of years that like
House of the Dead stuff.
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah, the Left 4 Dead games, which were good games. Yeah, those are really fun. It kind of combines that whole Left 4 Dead with like the different types of zombies and like the different abilities they have. It combines that with a little bit of Dead of Winter. But the good parts of Dead of Winter, and not the bad parts of Dead of Winter.
Yeah.
And then like some of the storybook element stuff where like the scenario, the opening scenario they gave you basically, like you have this survivor that comes to you and says like he like his daughter is trapped inside the city. In the trunk, he for her safety, he locked her in the trunk of a car with like all of this food because he was going to go and get the stuff. And then he, like, or whatever, had to get medicine or something like that. And then, but now there's too many zombies and he can't make it back. And so then he comes up to your refugee camp people and, can you help me? And so you go after it. And so like, so you go through this whole process and you have this NPC father with you the entire way. And there's these different choices you make. And if like when you actually finally get to the trunk of the car, it's like, of course, surrounded by zombies because they can hear the girl inside but they can't get to her. And so when you get there, you have to fight through the zombies. If the father, like, it's like things like if the father's died since like on the way there, you have to like basically there's like it's a dice roll, but it's basically a role playing encounter where you have to convince the girl that you aren't there to hurt her. or else she starts shooting at you, and then you're forced into the situation where you have to kill this 11-year-old girl, or just run away and leave like this mountain of food that's inside this thing. But of course, so if you do, you'll kill her and you take the food, okay. So the next part of the scenario, now you have a bunch of food, and like food actually is like a very important commodity, obviously, and things like that. So it's they've made a pretty grim game. So
yeah, it sounds good. I mean, the premise is great, and it was real exciting. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out where I wasn't able to do it. But I definitely want to dig into it because it seems like more to the zombie genre than we have right now, and than we've really ever had, I think. And it sounds really clever. And I like a game that it's not just about rolling dice and shooting zombies. That's great, but I like where you're forced into tough survival decisions, like it sounds like it does.
Yeah, no, but that was really weird because basically because they all speak, well, English is a second language for them, so their ability to have a video for the English speaking audience was tough, and so that they definitely like had me, they were contacting me. And it's like, when you need this video done, I'm like, well, I got it 2 days after the thing started, so I mean, I do have to play it a few times so I actually feel good about the video, and then but I mean, it was weird. It was like I was getting emails from backers, like just unsolicited emails from backers, like, when are you gonna get this video done? I was just like, what is going on? I was just like, what?
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on that. There was a lot of talk, I know, about wanting to get that review done. They wanted to see it. The backers were starting to, get cold feet, I think, and understandably so. And that's what happens when you run a Kickstarter and you don't have everything, set ahead of time. And that's why it's so important for anybody putting out a game on Kickstarter to get those games out well in advance, especially something that is fairly complex as this one sounds, to give everybody enough time to play it and learn it and play it multiple times to be able to form an opinion.
Well, and especially if you're sending it across an ocean,
Sure.
And how you're waiting for it to get there, kind of thing. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, so what's new, everybody? Besides that, anything else?
Nope, I'm just letting you know I'm out. So
you're out. You're gone.
Time.
Mm-hmm.
You're out of here.
I'm out of here. So good night, everybody. Thanks for having me on. Good job with the letters and the initials and the Jim Thorpes and
Which Jim Thorpe?
The one that I guessed.
Oh, okay.
Early 1900s. The actual baseball player Jim Thorpe that I was right about, but I was wrong about. Does that make sense? I knew
what I think a video rant is coming out of this one by tomorrow.
Oh, I don't think so. I'm done. I ain't got time for you like that anymore. I got too much to do.
All right, buddy. Well, you take care. Get some sleep.
All right. Good night.
Good night, David.
But I don't know. Hey, yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about. I'm as all of us are. We're extremely busy and we've got everything going on as far as that goes. But I don't know.
What new games you got coming out for review that you can talk about?
So I can email you and tell you to get them done.
I'm trying to think of these things.
Just open your checkbook and look, see the deposits.
Oh gosh, that's enough. A miniatures game called that actually they just launched today called British versus Pirates.
Nice.
Yeah. And then there was one based on the RPG of Dreams and Magic, which is a very good RPG. There's a board game based on that. So I'm just a couple of those that I've been working on. Those are the ones I'll be working on after we get done here.
Cool.
But yeah, and then I've got more coming down the pipe. God, I need to like, I don't know, find 8 days in a week, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have a grievance.
Ooh, a grievance.
Ooh.
Is it about the game Salem?
No. A company that I actually admire greatly up until about couple days ago.
6 couple days ago?
No, it's less than 6 days ago. Launched a project, and I am just so pissed off at them about it.
Can you be a little less
Vague.
I could be as unvague as possible. So there's a small indie RPG focused company that does some really amazing work, stuff that I've gotten to play thanks to Lance. And they launched a Kickstarter for a fun party card game that if you go on BGG, they literally say on the description, we've been playtesting this for the past 6 days, and it works. So it's a pure money grab, and it is so beneath them that I am just upset with the fact that they even thought of doing it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And yeah, it's weird.
Like you don't need to do that. You don't need to sully your name by doing that.
Yeah, but I know that. I mean, I talked to the guy that runs the thing, and like honestly, man, he just doesn't care. I mean, if somebody said, I'm unimpressed with your decision, he'd be the person who'd say, oh, I don't care.
All right, well, then I'm done. I'm done with buying anything else from your company if you don't care.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, well, he's pretty libertarian, and he's I don't want to speak for the man, but I mean, he's definitely of the opinion of like, well, I understand that you might be annoyed by it, but it's just kind of like
I'm doing a cash grab. F you.
Yeah, and he probably thinks it's funny, and I think his wife designed it, so it's yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is what it is, whatever. I don't know. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
Well,
What's that beeping noise in the background?
I don't know.
Anthony, is your fire alarm going off?
No,
again?
hold on.
It stopped.
No, it's something beeping in here. Hold on, I have to investigate. It's not the fire alarm.
Something needs batteries, obviously.
It's one of my child's electronics. It might be his PS4. Hold on.
Always fun.
So how's that? You just received that British versus Pirates?
I got it a while ago. It's good. I just
But
once again, it's just one of those things where I need to.
Yeah. Need time.
Yeah. And finding time is tough sometimes.
Yeah, it is. And that's that one looks pretty good. I was pretty impressed with the initial look at it on online, and I was like, where's the reviews? Where's the previews? They need to get those on there, and now I know why, because someone is slacking. No, I'm not picking on you, man. Don't worry. You're like, I don't care. I'm reading something else.
No, I care. I care a lot. No, I've been kind of like, it's one of those things where I always tell myself I really need to be better organized with certain things, right? Mm-hmm. Like I tell myself that all the time, but then I fail all the time to be better organized with things.
You need to organize organization. That's the problem.
You need to actually read, Lance. I'm responding to your email where you ask me for something that's literally right in front of you.
What?
I forwarded you his email, and you asked me what's his email.
Oh, well, I didn't see it. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. Sorry, I didn't. Not my finest moment. Sorry.
It's all right. We still love you.
Well, thank you. It's good to be loved. I'm trying to find this piece of information that I was going to share with you guys, and I'm having trouble finding it.
It's better to be feared.
Yeah, it is better to be feared. Better be feared than loved. That's what the things say. Where is? Just talk amongst yourselves here.
And nobody starts speaking.
And nobody talks. Yeah, that's great.
All right, more grievances, Anthony. You got any more?
No, I'm out. I'm all out.
You're all out? Wow.
I'm all out of grievances.
Anybody get any other new games lately?
I got Julius Caesar finally.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't got anything else, but I'm getting 1754 on Friday.
Yep, mine's in the mail, and I should be getting that soon. And then I got a couple of games from Lock and Load.
I saw that.
Got Heroes of the Motherland and Heroes of the Falklands, and then the coup de grace right here.
Very
cool. The solo. So that's going to be fun. I got that, and I'm working on Warfighter for review right now. It's like it's a month that it just happens to be a couple of war games, one after the other, and I'm waiting for 2 other Kickstarters to come in and jump on those.
Oh, I bought a game from some bozo.
What bozo would that be? What game would that be?
I don't know. It's about the Alamo.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Is it good?
It's good. I like it. It's fun. It's a fun war game filler.
Yeah, it's a simple little filler, and it's probably better off with multiple. I mean, with 2 people as multiplayer than it is just solitaire, because solitaire is kind of. It reminded me of what was that? The Pickett's Charge one that they did.
The Seals and the Ramparts.
No, I can't remember the name of it right now. It's going to drive me up a wall. But they had one. It was Pickett's Charge one. You basically just put all the chits down on the map, and it should push your luck game is what it really is. And it wasn't bad. It didn't stick with me too well. I wasn't crazy for it. And like I said, I got Warfighter right now. I don't know. Have you ever played the Warfighter series?
No, I haven't. That's DBG, right?
Yeah, it's Dan Verson's.
Yeah, I have. I haven't gotten into the table yet.
Which one do you have? You have the modern or World War II?
World War II.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The Warfighter is really good because you can play it solitaire and multiplayer. Well, co-op, multiplayer. It's pretty simple, but it can be pretty brutal too. And it's a lot of fun. It's fairly easy to get into. The rule book is, I got the rule book right here. It's kind of scary, I guess, for some people if they look at it the first time. It's 44 pages, but in 44 pages, a lot of it is at the end. There's about 5 or 6 pages of examples, and they basically take a page to 2 pages each to explain different cards and their effects and stuff. So while it's a big rule book, you can go through it really fast, and it's very good at walking you through the entire game. So I like a rule book that's laid out so you can open it up, set everything up on a table, and start playing.
So I have another small grievance.
Here we go. I knew you had more grievances.
So I like block war games.
Okay.
And I actually like buying them used because I hate stickering the blocks.
So lazy.
So I don't mind buying them used. But anyway, so I was able to trade for a copy of Asia Engulfed.
Nice.
And so it came. The guy said, I asked him, what condition it was in. He was like, I pretty much punched it and stickered it and never actually got to play it. I'm like, okay, great. I make the trade. It comes in. Now, I'm not anal retentive as far as stickers go.
Mhm.
I don't mind if they're not perfectly centered. But
Okay.
I don't know if this guy was like having a seizure when he put these things on.
That's
They're like
horrible.
wrapped around the block.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Okay, so like you have people who are really anal who have to get it perfectly centered,
Yeah.
and there's always a little bit of border depending on what the kind of block game and the sticker.
Sure.
There are blocks in the game that are stickered in the corner.
What?
Like literally, he stickered them, and the sticker is all the way up in either the top right corner or the top left corner of the block. And I'm sitting there going, "Are you kidding me?" Luckily, Asian Gulf comes with a second set of stickers, so I was able to remove those and reposition new ones on. But I was like, man, I don't care if they're askew a little bit. But this was like, I don't know what the hell. Then one block came and the sticker was stuck to the outside of the bag. I was like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's not, stickering is not as bad as you think. You know, you just get into a rhythm, and you can knock out a block game in 30 to 45 minutes. You know, I mean, it's not too bad.
I stickered Julius Caesar today. That's only 50 blocks, so that's not so bad.
Oh yeah, that's nothing at all. Because what I do is I have a thing where I'll do 10 stickers at a time. When I do a block game, I'll actually put like 2 stickers per finger, and then on my hand, I'll just pull them off the thing, put them on my finger, and then I'll just hold them out and I just pop them on there one at a time, and you knock out 10 blocks in like 20 seconds. And then just pulling the stickers off is the longest, most time-consuming part of it.
Well, here's the funny thing about stickers. So how much I hate stickers. So I got Orleans Deluxe, the Kickstarter, and I played my copy.
That's being reprinted, I heard.
I played my copy 4 or 5 times, and my discs still are not stickered.
Really?
I play them without stickers on them because I hate putting stickers on. Blocks is bad enough. Discs are a real pain in the ass.
It's the same thing. It's just round. I mean, it's not that bad.
No, but blocks are easier to find the center. When you're doing discs, if you don't put it hangs off one side, then you have to kind of like peel it back up and then reposition it.
Well, I don't go from the center. I go from the side.
Yeah, but even if you go from the side, it's round.
Even with a round, what I'll do is I'll just hold it and I'll just pick one side and I'll just start stickering from there and I go across. Same as I do with a block. And, you know, that's how the first one is always your eyeball, you're guessing. And then after that,
Get your ass on a plane, come up here, stick in my game.
It's not that bad. You know what? I'll do a stickering service for you. You send the game to me, I'll sticker it, and I'll play it. And I'll enjoy it. And then, you know, if I don't like it, I'll send it back.
All right. Fine. Lance, did you find what you were looking for?
No, that's okay. Yeah.
You look upset.
No, I'm just I'm annoyed that I can't find a piece of information. I emailed a dude today, and like he asked me for something, and I'm like, and so I'm digging around for the stuff, and I can't find it, which is annoying. So I don't know, whatever. I know I sent this email, and I can't find this anywhere. So yeah, whatever. I'm gonna have this. So now I have to write this email again.
And then there is another game that's coming out. I think it's coming to Kickstarter in March. I've played it a few times through its iterations, both at BGGCon and on Tabletopia, and it's a really clever game, and it's a very interesting game, a lot more crunchy than you think it is from the sound of it. But it's a game called King's Champion by Talon Strike Studios. They put out House of Borgia last year, and it's a jousting game. But, you know, at first you're like, a jousting game? What the hell is that? It's actually a Euro. But you select 3 knights, and they have all these different card effects when you're going to fight. But the interesting thing is you have multiple workers that you can place around the board to build up powers and, you know, add dice to your dice pool, things like that, because that's what you're trying to do is build up your dice pool. And then it's a quick little roll off when you have your battles, but everything is leading up to that to build your dice pool, to give your knight more strength, weapons, squires, things like that. And then you just roll off against each other, and you choose your 3 in secret that you're going to, you know, how you're going to fight your knights, who's going to go first, second, and third. and then you reveal one at a time and go against each other. And it's really slick, and I can't wait to see that get produced on Kickstarter. It's going to be a real good one.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for a box of paint to arrive.
I heard
A
that.
box
Still?
of paint.
Yeah, I'm a horrible human being. Just
Man.
value the money and just be done with it.
all my naked minis in desperate need of
Wait a
paint.
minute.
I'm just gonna
wait a
send you like 38 bottles of mustard yellow. Enjoy.
You're complaining about stickering, but now you're talking that you're going to go out and paint.
I like painting.
So you like painting, but you don't like stickering?
Yes.
Painting is hours. Stickering is minutes.
I get much more enjoyment out of painting than stickering.
Yeah. You get
Painting's
like
fun.
a zone when you paint. Yeah.
I could be creative.
You are creative. Ah.
Oh, we were
crap.
just signing off, and look who just came on now.
There's Seth.
Hey,
Hey, guys.
Seth Jaffe.
How you doing?
Do you work?
doing?
Hey, are you gonna be around tomorrow morning?
Yes.
All right.
You wanna do
then
that call?
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I,
What time?
I don't know. You get up later than me, so.
That thing. You do that thing. That Brooklyn thing.
no,
No, I gotta teach Lance how to do a thing.
Ah.
no.
Walk him through it. So yeah, we can do that tomorrow.
All right. Damn it.
Probably like 10 a.m. my time.
What time, Bubba?
Like 10 a.m. my time, maybe.
So noon me?
I don't know. Is it 2 hours different?
Yeah, that's fine. That'll work.
Does that work?
That works. That works. I can get Mikey off my back then too. Crap on a cracker. Hey, you got any grievances to air, Seth?
No, I had a pretty good day today. I got to think about some new game designy type stuff. I got to work on get some progress made on one of 4 of my games I'm working on. That's about done. Getting ready to go to print. Got to play some Frisbee tonight. That was good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom.
No, it is not. Yeah, man. It's not bad. Life's good, right?
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Pretty good. You know, I'm kind of glad that Keith won because coming up with both before and after and initials is tough to do.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
What were the initials tonight?
JT.
You said that and I immediately thought of JT Walsh, but that wouldn't have been a yeah.
That wouldn't have been it.
Famed,
Yeah, I probably got like
JT Walsh.
I probably would have got like max 1. What were all the answers like? Wrote them down.
What were the answers? The answers were John Turturro, John Travolta, James Taylor, J.R.R. Tolkien, Jim Thorpe, Jeffrey Tambor, John Thompson, Jennifer Tilly, Justin Trudeau, Johnny Thunders, John Taylor, Jason Tagmeyer, John Tesh, Joe Torre, Judy Tenuta, Jim Tomei, Jay Thomas, Jessica Tandy, and that was it. And there were
So
2.
3 of those I might have gotten. 5 I've heard of, but probably wouldn't have gotten, and the rest I've never even heard of. So.
You would have got one of the 2 Jim Thorpes.
I don't know who Jim
You know who Jim Thorpe is?
I don't think so.
Which
I don't
one?
know a lot of stuff. I mean, I know a lot of stuff, but not a lot of stuff, you know? Trivia is not my thing. I have a friend, though, who's very good at trivia. And I'm not just talking about you, Anthony.
Oh. And I have you, Anthony.
No, I got a friend he lives in Seattle. He is a trivia machine. He goes to, pub trivia nights or whatever, and people try to get him on his team for it. And he's like, why would I need a team? And yeah, he was on Jeopardy I actually watched him in the he won the college championship or whatever, and then I went and watched him on the Tournament of Champions, and he unfortunately lost to the eventual winner, but that was a bummer. But he's been on a few other game shows too. Smart guy, knows a lot of stuff, and also is smart. So that's the thing is about the trivia shows is just because you know a lot of stuff doesn't make you smart. But people like Alex Trebek are like, oh, we're the game show for the smart people. The dumb people are down the hall at Wheel of Fortune.
It's marketing.
Anyway, but yeah, so there's a distinction there. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't remember a lot of trivia.
Yeah, trivia is weird as far as like, you know, being able to pinpoint it and stuff like that. It's
Jen would probably be good at initials. She's real good at that trivia stuff.
Who is?
Yeah.
My wife, Jen. I am not.
All right, next week, all wives edition of initials.
Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
I wonder if Michelle would like that. I'm try to. She's usually asleep by the time you guys are doing this, though.
Like I said, the before and after is totally the Wheel of Fortune of the, because it's just you get to ease in as far as.
Oh, there were some weird ones tonight though, in the before and after.
Especially when you get all tricky afterwards.
But I gotta be clever every once in a while, right? You know, so.
You really have to put Anthony Riccan No Sleep Till Brooklyn in one of these ones.
Yeah, I was proud of the Man Deep at Tinkindle.
I got that one.
I was pretty proud of that one, and the Nava Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was proud of those two. Yeah, Wind Talkers was a decent movie. It was.
Yeah. I just watched that a couple weeks ago. It was on.
Wind Talkers. Yeah.
Yeah. With,
so I saw a few videos for video reviews of Coliseum pop up yesterday.
Oh, so who posted them?
Coliseum.
I know.
Forrest
Dan King.
I know Man vs. Meeple did.
Man vs.
Dan
Meeple
King
and Forrest Bauer.
All right, cool.
So
yeah. We did put a thing out as far as we put an embargo where they couldn't do it until the 1st of February. So
no wonder.
So
yeah,
what's the deal on that?
Dropped today.
What's the deal on that? A reviewer reviewing a reprint. Is that what are they reviewing? He talked about the it was an existing game, but a lot of people haven't actually played this 10-year-old game. So he talked about how it went, how it worked, went through the rules and everything. And then he talked a bit about the components compared. Well, he didn't compare them to the old version, which is probably good because Days of Wonder, they do a good job anyway. He didn't mention that, but he said he was very happy with the components. He pointed out a couple of things he thought in the rulebook were. I kind of don't. Sometimes people will pick nits in rulebooks when it doesn't say something and they expect it to say something, which just tells me we need to be more redundant sometimes in rulebooks. But I don't know. It kind of sucks when there's a review, which is what people look at to see if they should look further at a thing, and there's a bunch of nitpicky comments. He didn't make a bunch. And there is one error in the rulebook. There's a typo basically. There's on the setup diagram, step O, it says G on the thing or whatever. So that was an oops. But other than that, there may be some incorrect number on a thing that tells you how many tokens you're supposed to have or whatever. But I don't know, a lot of reviewers, and I'm not talking about Forrest anymore, a lot of reviewers will go into a lot of detail about certain nits to pick with rulebooks, and I feel like that's people watching the review haven't got any idea how to play the game yet, so really, how does that really help anybody? But anyway, other than that, he talked about the components, he talked about the game. It looked like a regular review. And the fact that the game's 10 years old, a lot of people, I guess they could look up the old review. I don't think he mentioned, actually, I don't know if I watched the whole thing. I don't know if he mentioned the differences between the two, such as he talked about the auction variant, but he didn't call it a variant. The way the auction works in the TMG version,
incorporates a variant that was like sanctioned by the designers. So it's no longer a variant. So that's different. And then he didn't. Also, I don't think he mentioned the there are 2 new what are they called? Shows you can do. So I don't know if that I don't know if anyone would notice or care that that's differences.
Yeah.
But for somebody who did play the old version and wants to know the differences, that's
did he play the old version? I didn't see his review. Did he say he played the old version?
I don't recall. I don't know. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. It was on the background.
I know Dan King did a video where he compares the 2 of them.
It's possible that he hadn't. I don't recall if he had played or not. And it's a good question. Like, is that review for someone who has played the old version, or is the review for somebody who's only now going to play this game for the first time?
Right.
I'm not really sure. I feel like he'd had an Emperor. Wait, we only have the one version of that, don't we, Lance? The Emperor edition?
That's the only thing. The only difference is if you Kickstarted it, you get the sleeve around the game.
Oh, okay, that's right.
That's the only
good because he was talking about the metal coins and the wooden pieces and stuff, and I'm like, I hope that's retail stuff because otherwise it's not going to be very helpful. But yeah, that's right. The Emperor's edition. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we're not. When it comes to like Yokohama, hopefully the reviewers will have retail copies and not Kickstarter copies.
I'll have a Kickstarter copy because I backed it.
Or not Kickstarter copies, but deluxe, which is mostly only available on Kickstarter. We'll have some convention. But
What Yokohama like we had 2 backers at regular. Everybody else was deluxe.
Deluxeified.
Right. But what I mean is, I'm hoping that when we get to send those to reviewers, we're going to send out retail copies because people who are going to watch a review, when they can no longer get a deluxe version, it's not going to do anyone any favors to show them deluxe version.
All right,
Lance. Normally send a Kickstarter review out to a reviewer. A Kickstarter copy out to a reviewer. Right?
We don't normally.
Yeah.
I think we would send the retail version, whatever is retail.
Yeah,
that's what's available.
We send the retail. I mean, if they back it and they want to review it, then we can't really stop them there.
Yeah, it's different.
So Lance, since I did back it, send me a retail version also, so I have both.
Are you serious?
No.
Okay. It's just like we probably could. I can't leave.
No, I don't do video. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's right.
I also saw a video for Dairyman from Forest Power. I don't know if that was new or if it's been around.
Well, we had like whatever it was, 15 copies. And I got the Instagram people got like 6 or 7 of them, and then I got to like send the rest out to people. So, and Bauer is one of our video guys. So
yeah, that was cool. He had an interesting approach on that one. He taught he played it. He had a playthrough with his wife, and he taught her the game while he taught the video. He just videoed him explaining her the rules, and then that was the part of the video to teach the game, which I guess was all right. I don't know. I feel like he hadn't played it yet. He like read the rules, and then he hadn't actually played it by the time he was teaching it. And I feel like it's easier to teach a game if you've played it, but whatever.
Normally, that works much better if you played the game prior to.
I review it and then I open the box.
Yeah.
No offense to Richard Ham or other people that do run-throughs, but I have a really hard time watching run-throughs because, and I understand, like you're doing a run-through, you're talking to the camera, you're thinking about what you're going to say, you're not necessarily you're concentrating as much on what you're doing, and it makes it real easy to make rules mistakes or bookkeeping mistakes, and it seems like that stuff happens constantly whenever I watch any run-throughs. And like for example, in this one for Dairyman. So Forrest's wife, like there's a way it's a kind of a pressure luck game, and you can bust, and if you bust, you lose one of your scoring tiles, basically. So she busted and she lost one of her scoring tiles, and she kind of set it aside, and it was kind of between them. And like 10 seconds later, Forrest like adjusted it to his tableau and basically took it, and now it was his, and he didn't realize that was supposed to be discarded. And it was like, oh look, I just have extra stuff now. And I don't think it made any difference, and I think she even won the game in the end, but I was just watching it going, how does that happen? But I thought it was funny. I had to laugh. I don't know. I don't think he noticed it either. In fact, right after that, he was bragging about how many more points he had than she did.
Nice.
But anyway, so that was
interesting.
I don't know.
It's hard for me to watch those.
It is kind of an interesting angle, though. Like somebody filming them just opening up a box and learning a game as they go along. Not learning the game
because everyone's gonna, everyone who buys the game is gonna have that experience. I guess they're gonna open the box, and unless someone's already.
I won't do it because I'm semi-retarded. But
Nice.
It is an interesting angle.
But I don't know. I think it's, if the intent of the video is to teach the game, then you're probably better served to really know what you're talking about before you record a video. If the intent of the video is to show somebody the actual experience of not having played the game, buying the game, and delving into it for the first time, then maybe that's more useful. You'll get to see someone go through that process, and what if they have difficulty, or where they have difficulty, or whatever. It's hard to say what.
That can also lead you down the wrong path, though, too, if there's mistakes made, like you're saying.
Yeah,
that's true. Everyone learns differently.
Yeah.
Anytime you watch any game being played, there's going to be mistakes.
I mean, so I see a value to run throughs, and I know a lot of people like them a lot and stuff, but they're so unwatchable for me that I wonder if they should even exist. But they should, because people like them.
Richard's going to show up. Look out.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I was kind of hoping by saying this that he would show. No, I mean, Richard does a very valuable service, and everyone, I mean, obviously he's got lots of fans and people like it a lot, but
say his name 3 times fast, it'll appear.
Rado.
Hey guys,
hey. And Richard, actually, I agree with his point of view on almost everything. Like, he kind of gets it. They're like, have you heard him talk about theme in games or whatever, where a lot of games people are like, oh, that's totally abstract. The theme is pasted on, and he'll be like, no, this is totally, how the theme comes out. And in most cases, I'm like, yeah, that's I agree with you, Richard, and I don't see why other people don't see it. Stuff like that. So we're on the same page a lot of the time. And I like his taste in games, although he seems to be really willing to like stuff. I guess I'm more, as a designer, perhaps that's why I'm more like picky. Like, he'll like something if it's a good idea, even if it's not such a great game. And I'll be like, that's a good idea, but I wish the game were better.
Yeah.
He's fairly forgiving when it comes to games.
But wait, hold on. I'm gonna roll back here what you just said. So, you said if it's a good game, but it's good game based on what? What are you basing it on?
Well, so like, there's games that are, they run the range from completely broken, like they don't work, to unbalanced, to just, I guess good is subjective. So I guess if someone likes it, maybe it's a good game.
There you go. All right, good. Carry on.
Yeah. There is that. But I feel like some people will give. You could take two games that are the same quality, and one is more refined than the other. Maybe one's clunky and fiddly while the other one's not, and they're otherwise the same. And I don't know. Underdeveloped is a word that gets thrown around with Kickstarter a lot, and like, there's a lot of people that are very forgiving for underdeveloped games, especially if they have a clever idea. But to me, just having a clever idea and throwing a game together that uses it and not finish, and calling it good is not my version of done. Like, I feel like there's more work to be done there, and when people don't do that, it kind of leads to the whole, I don't know, it kind of feeds into the cult of the new thing. Like, people are going to play a game once, that was a neat idea, and then they move on to the next game anyway, and they don't really get to the point
feeds the
they know the game well enough to care. So maybe I'm just wasting my time with worrying about it, but what are you going to do? That's just my opinion.
Well, what feeds cult of the new is just the constant flow of games that, to be able to play them, is, hey, all right, I got this game, I got 5 games here, I gotta learn it and play it. Okay, great game, put it away, I gotta go to the next game, I gotta go to the next game, I gotta go to the next game.
It's kind of a cycle. It's because there are so many games coming out, you don't get a chance to play them very often, and because you don't play them very often, you don't get a chance to know them real well and find their flaws or whatever. And because you don't get a chance to find their flaws, you can claim they're great because they had a clever idea, and then whatever, and then you have people like me who waste their time trying to make that clever idea into a better, more well-rounded, finished game. Here's an example for you, Anthony. Just like a specific example. There's
There's a designer. I really like him. I think he's a good designer. We published one of his games even. His name is Alex Kevern, and he made a game called World's Fair 1894. Have you played that game?
No, I have not, but I know Alex. Yes.
Okay. Well, it's a great idea. I love the sound of the game. I kickstarted it because it sounded great, and I liked the designer. And I got it, and I played it, and it was fun, and I liked it. And I was kind of excited about it, and it's light. But I brought it to actually a friend of mine was in town who he tends to like heavier stuff, but he likes clever light stuff too. And it was the middle of the end of a game night. We played something else, and I'm like, hey, why don't we play this? It's pretty quick. And I was kind of excited to play the new hotness with my friends, and we played it. And my friend from out of town who had never played it before won handily, and I'm like, hey, how'd you like it? And he said, so the way this game works, and here's a clever idea, is you've got these like 5 different sections. On your turn, you pick a section, you put a cube in that section, and you take all the cards that are by that section, and then you deal out cards around the thing. So you're gonna get 2, 3, 4 cards, and you're gonna put a cube down. When you score, it's basically area majority. So you want to put a cube down because you want area majority, or you want to put a cube there because you want the cards that are there. That's basically the idea. So I thought that sounded really clever, and I like having different reasons to want to do stuff. There's like 2 or 3 reasons you want to go to a particular spot. There's some set collection. There's some area majority. So great. My friend said that he kind of shrugged his shoulders when I asked him how he liked the game, and he said, well, I just put a cube wherever there was the most cards every time. Like, he didn't even think about it. He just, oh, there's 4 cards there. I'll take them. Like, every single time. He didn't make a single decision. And he won by kind of a lot. And I was like, really? And I'm like, that can't be. You must, that can't win every time, right? So every time I played the game after that, I tried doing that just to see. And unfortunately, it's kind of the case. You basically can do really well, win a lot of the time, by just taking the most cards that you can. And maybe once during the game, you take 3 cards instead of 4 because it's got a particular color you want, or because you particularly want a cube somewhere. And that was kind of disappointing because I really liked the idea of the game. It won some Mensa award because apparently the judges only play the game like once. And, it was very well liked and well known. But if you played it more than like 4 times, you find out that you can just take the most cards every turn and probably win. So...
Yep. I was going to say, so, and I'm not here to pile on a game, so I don't want people to get that impression.
I feel really bad too, because Alex might hear this and be like, oh, but I don't take this as a strike against Alex, and I hope he doesn't, feel bad that I'm, being down on his game at the moment. I actually like the game. I just wish that it wasn't so true that, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if you played it 100 times, you'd find out that there's more to it, but.
And maybe that's the case, but I guess Travis Chance, he said he sat down and played that game with his other co-designer Nick, and Nick just kind of has this weird mind for math, and they had played like 2 rounds of the game, and Nick said that exact same thing. He said, "If I do this, I will win," and so then. Really? And then they were just like, wow. And they couldn't believe that it was like that. It was just one of those things where it was.
No offense to Nick, but most people who say that, I don't put a lot of stock in. And, a lot of people can say that, and then they can, even if they turn out to be right. I know a lot of people who are willing to say that when they're not right. They think they get a real confident in their ability to say, oh, this is what's going to happen. And it just happened last weekend or 2 weekends ago. I was at a convention and we were about to play Royals. You ever played Royals?
Royals!
Yeah. Royals is an okay game, kind of a light game. And we're about to play it, and one player bowed out because in the rules explanation, there were like 1 or 2 things that he was so sure how it was going to play out based on that, that he was like, you know what, I'm not even going to play. And I'm like, because he was positive what was going to happen. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to fight with him. Go ahead and bow out. But if I'm curious if he had played the game, if at the end of the game he would have still thought the same things he thought at the beginning of the game, because I didn't agree. The game's not perfect, but I think he was wrong in his assessment. So, I mean, it's an area majority game, and it is kind of weird because the way it works is there's like 3 scoring rounds, and the scoring round happens like when the deck runs out. So you might not get as many. If you're player 4,
you won't get as many turns as everyone else. You get one less turn each scoring round than everyone else. And if you're player 3, you might also get one last turn or whatever. Depends on when the deck runs out. And that happens the first 2 scoring rounds, which is kind of a disadvantage. But there's also not it's an area majority game, and you definitely get last turn of the game at the end of the game, and you go after everyone else every round of the game, and that is an advantage. So while it is kind of weird, you don't get even turns each scoring round. I think it's probably not unbalanced. It just sounds funny, and if you're confident that you can assess things and you say, "Oh, that's obviously unfair," you might be wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's wrong to judge a game without even playing it. That's basically what he did.
Well, on the other hand, you shouldn't play a game that you think you're not going to like just to see if you don't in fact like it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, if you're not going to like, if you think you're not going to like a game, then don't play it. That's fine. But what I don't like is when you make assertions about the game that you're so sure are true, having not played it, about how it's going to play out and how the balance works. The guys that publish design, he thinks he knows what he's talking about. More power to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's yeah. I mean, it always does stink. That's like how did that? How if a game does end up having like a, I'm not going to say a crippling blow or something, but if they end up having something like that wrong with them, it's definitely one of those things where you're like, oh, well, how did that happen? Well,
a lot of games do have something wrong with them, and a lot of people don't care. A lot of people play games and they don't play as competitively as some, and they won't notice. They won't ever come to the point where they find the imbalance or whatever. How many people played A Few Acres of Snow and had fun doing it before somebody figured out there was a dominant strategy? Mm-hmm. Probably a lot, right? And a lot of people
not a one. There wasn't anybody that liked it before.
And I'm even after it was sort of well documented on Board Game Geek that you could basically win every time by doing this one thing. I bet there's still a lot of people that don't know that, and they still played it and still had fun and didn't realize it. I played it once without knowing that strategy existed, and I only played it once, and I never got around to playing it again. But it's not like the game sucked because there was a dominant strategy. Not even the first time you play it.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're not going to play that game more than about 4 or 5 times, which a lot of players don't probably do, you probably will never find that dominant strategy, and there's not really a problem. The thing is, when you have a game that gets played online 1,000 times or whatever, and by certain people who want to have tournaments and whatnot, then you have a problem with balance, and you have to make sure it's all balanced. But I try to make games be balanced even if people aren't going to play them that much. I would like people to play games that much. I like to play games more than once, more than a couple times to kind of get better at them. So that's how I do it. But I know there's probably an argument to be made that that's not really necessary. And that if there's some small discrepancy or small unbalance, that doesn't show up unless you really know what you're doing. Nowadays, that's probably okay.
Yeah, but it happens in games and by designers that you don't even expect it to happen with.
Yeah.
With 2 years ago, when did Caverna come out? 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So Caverna came out the same year as Glass Road came out, and both those games are broken.
Are they?
Well, and Uwe has come out and said, "Hey, you know what? You're right," because someone in both games had posted that if you do this and this and this, you basically create like an infinite loop of actions and resources or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he came right out and said, "Yeah, you know what? It's broken." Because there's a errata on it that says, this can only be done once or something. I don't know. They changed both things, but someone pointed it out in both games, and he's like, "Yep, it's exactly right." Because I don't know how this never came up in any of the playtests we did, but
I mean,
well, that's the difference between.
Yeah, there's a difference there.
Especially in a huge game like Caverna. I mean, hopefully designers do their job, but I could see how. I don't know what the thing is you're talking about. I'm not familiar. I haven't played Caverna actually, but there's a lot of moving parts in a lot of these games, and if there's some combination that never came up in playtesting or whatever, I don't know. On the one hand, maybe they should have playtested more or thought about it more. On the other hand, it's not impossible for something to I wouldn't say it's not impossible for something to never come up. Probably more likely something that comes up doesn't seem like a big deal at the time because it doesn't have a big effect in that particular game, or doesn't seem like it would come up that often or matter that much. And then when it comes out and 1,000 people play it in the first week or 2 weeks, and it comes up a lot more often than you thought, and it gets worse than you thought it did. That happens. That can happen.
Well, that's where video games have an advantage over board games, because a video game, you can actually have a quote-unquote open beta and throw the game out there and let people pound on it, break, find the glitches, find the issues, and then you patch it. Where a board game doesn't have that,
not only that,
advantage.
but the patching especially, when you can send a patch and the user doesn't know they got patched.
Right.
Whereas sending a patch on a board game is a lot harder.
Oh yeah, no, it is, and that's where it's more advantageous for a video game, because you can recruit basically the entire public to beta your game for a $5 or $10 discount code or something like that, and then, like you said, just push that patch out. Whereas a board game, there's errata. You can always throw an errata out there to fix something, but it's very hard to fix.
For a board game, you have to know where to look for it, right? You buy a game at the store. Here's a two-part example. One, Eminent Domain. When we first made it, the board, I don't know if you guys played Eminent Domain, but you get down to the stacks of cards. The cards have the rules on them. When you get down to the bottom of the stack, it's printed on the board what the rules are, so as if there's a card there. But normally when you take a card from the stack, you get to count that card. And if the stack is empty, there's no card to take. So you're supposed to get an extra +1 to that thing. And I wrote it in some of the spots. I put it in some of the different cards because they mattered. And on some of them that I didn't think would come up or didn't think would matter if it did come up, I just didn't put it in there. And then, game gets out there and people play it, and it happens more than I thought. And I realized, even if it didn't happen that often, or even if it didn't matter that much, there's no reason this +1 shouldn't be on all these spots. So I had to issue errata. So how do you do that? How do you tell everybody, hey, 20,000 people that have this game, how do you, play different now?
No, it is
what I did was I put an errata sticker in the expansion. So anyone that got the expansion, and in the next printing, right? We printed it again and the new printing. So if anyone gets a new one, they'll get this thing hardly matters. It never comes up. But when it does come up, at least it'll be right. But speaking of open betas, the closest we can get to that is probably putting out a print and play.
Sure.
And we have done on some of our games, we've had, especially on Kickstarter, we've had a print and play, and that's actually been very good. Another game of mine, Microcosm, had a print and play, and because of the print and play, we actually got to gather some feedback on the rules. I had a rules at the time. It was just a Word document with some rules in it, and people mentioned what was unclear, and I made some updates based on that. Unfortunately, when the game came out, we put that all on a rules sheet, and when the game came out, that game has been touted as being the worst rules ever, because they apparently were not as clear when they were in the published version as some people seem to think they were in the print and play version for some reason. So, I mean, that was a bummer, because not only did I think they were fine, because it's hard because I wrote them, I guess, but people from the print and play thought they were fine, and actually we took their feedback. So I was like, what the heck? So we actually had we updated the rules, we put an updated PDF online, but you go to the store, you buy the game, you don't know that. You don't know there's an update. Maybe you don't even know what BGG is. So what are you going to do? You can't really patch a physical game, unfortunately, because I just found I guess it's an old review or whatever of Microcosm, and the guys that played it really liked it, but they had some trouble learning it because of the rules. And I was like, oh man, I hadn't seen a review in a while, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it happens. And also, there are a lot of rules out there that could be a little more concise or maybe expanded upon in different areas too. And everybody learns differently. Some people learn really good just by sitting down reading a rule book without even playing the game. They can understand a rule. They can understand a game just by reading the book. I don't really do that myself. I'm a visual guy. I got to set it up and play it. It just makes more sense to me that way. And that's where, Rodney, what he does is great, because you can just sit down and not even worry about reading a rule book, or watch a video of his after reading a rule book if he's covering a game. But it is tough, and that's the best way to get people involved as doing a print and play, but how many people are really going to do a print and play if it's a big game? Like, you can't do that with like Caverna. You know, you're not going to get people to do a print and play for that. Not very many would do that.
Yeah, no.
All right, so I found what the actual error is in Glass Road.
Oh yeah.
So there's the buildings that you can build. So if you own the roofing company and the sandstone factory, and there's one other one. Okay, so the roofing company allows you to turn 1 brick into 2 basic resources. The sandstone factory allows you to turn 3 sand into 1 brick. And there are 4 buildings which allow you to turn 1 type of resource into 2 sand, blah, 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 blah. So basically what it is, if you turn your brick into 2 wood at the one place, you turn the 2 wood into 4 sand and the 3 sand into 1 brick. So you never have to take a resource action is what it does. You just activate the building and you can get any resources you need because you can always do the conversions to the conversions to the conversion to get whatever you need to build the next building. So you never have to take the resource action. And they actually came back and took one of those tiles out of the game. So what the roofing, let's see, what did they say? The roofing tile, the roofing company, that tile is no longer part of the game.
Just completely cut it, huh?
Yeah, they cut it out to break the loop. And they said that during all of the games that they play tested, they never had those 2 tiles come up in the same game, probably. Or no one even thought to exploit it. That's why it. But the way the rules are and the way the actions are, you would only have to play half the game in order to keep doing the stuff that everyone else was doing. You know,
yeah, whether or not it came up or whether or not. So one of the problems is, and this is tough, balance testing and just regular play testing are kind of 2 different things. And there are certain people, some people are better suited for one or the other. There are people who play games just, to have fun or they enjoy the experience, and they're not necessarily as competitive or as analytical, and they might not notice that combination, right? They might not put that together and think, hey, if I do this plus this plus this, it's like infinite stuff. Whereas there are other players who will hone right in on that, and they'll be like, oh, hey, I can commit resources. Oh, look at that. If I happen to do this and this and this, I get infinite resources. And so both types of players are useful at different stages of the game, but like, if you don't have that analytical type or that competitive type, you might miss some obscure combination of things that you might not think to put together, unless you are looking for every advantage you can get and finding a way to go infinite. Sometimes they're not obvious. So that one that you just mentioned involved like 3 different buildings, right?
Yeah, if you have those 2 buildings specifically, and then any of the buildings that let you produce resources by paying sand. That's pretty much the way you get the loop from.
So 2 specific buildings and one other of a couple maybe. So like, and if I remember correctly, wait, are those buildings always available, or do they come up at a? You can't necessarily have access to all those buildings, so it's possible it never really came up where anyone got all 3.
Right. Or the thing is, someone knows that the possibility of that thing is there, someone can cock block you from getting the second one, so you can do the loop. But
but you shouldn't have to rely on. As a designer, I would say don't rely on players to stop your other players from breaking.
Right, and that's why they decided to take it out, because someone even said, "Well, you can just make it part of the game that you don't want someone to get both of them." I'm like, but then the guy's like, "Nope, we messed up. We're taking it out."
Yeah, yeah. I would prefer to see a fix that isn't. Well, don't let them do that. It's not. That sounds like a bad fix to me. And there are designers whose answer would be, well, don't let them do that.
But to get a game out as a business, there has to be a stop in a development cycle, because you can't sit there and work on a game for years and years and years to get it perfect, to get the balance 100% perfect, and to look for every eventuality. I mean, to run something like that until someone comes up with a mathematical algorithm where they could just plug all the variables of the game into it and let it run through the models and make sure that it's balanced, it's still going to come down to humans really as the last line of defense, in figuring out what a game is ready or not. And you have to, better than anyone here, I would say, that okay, when do you cut it off and just say, you know what, this game is as done as it's going to be. It has to be published because it's a business. I mean,
Yeah.
and people will expect, just like you said, you may play a game 2, 3, 4 times and not even notice those things because you only played a few times.
Yeah. Speaking as somebody who has worked on games for many years before they came out, yeah, it's not worth it. Like, not only do you not have time to spend years on a game, there's not enough money in this business to be worth the time to spend a lot of time on
there. Yeah.
Which is too bad. I mean, it's kind of too bad, because what does it mean? That means, we only make a tiny bit of margin on every game. We can't afford to spend a ton of time on any given game. That means games are going to be underdeveloped because no one spends the time that it really takes. And that's
it's not necessarily underdeveloped, because it still giving people enjoyment, though?
Well, that's the thing, is like, it doesn't have to be. It can be underdeveloped and still be fun, right? That's kind of the other side of that, is that it just because it's underdeveloped doesn't mean there's anything necessarily wrong with it, except from like a perfectionist point of view, or if you're going to have a tournament, that's different. But yeah, it's kind of too bad, because speaking as someone who's kind of a perfectionist and kind of an idealist and would like games to be better in general, I put too much time into some of the games I work on. Like, I shouldn't do that. It's not worth it. But I do, because that's how I am about
it's also pride. That's also pride in your product too.
I mean, it is. That's true, I guess. But I mean, I'm not sure. What I'm hoping is that people will recognize that. Like, people will start seeing, developed by Seth Jaffe on a box and have that mean something to them. They go, oh, that's the guy that puts too much time into these games. Like, maybe it'll be worth something someday. But I'm actually working on 4 different games for TMG right now. 2 I've been developing. One is an expansion, Eminent Domain, and one is my own game that, I mean, I started making it like 8 years ago, I guess. 7 years ago, and then I finished it like 3 years ago or something, and it's finally now going to come out. This is how you know if it's done. If you play it, and it stops changing each time, or then it's probably done. But yeah, all 4 of these are coming to a head like this month, and so they're all going to come out. And we'll see. Like, maybe get my name out there a little more. Maybe people will start to recognize, or maybe I'm a hack and no, I'm not that good. So that's another possibility.
You need a Kickstarter game. You need a Kickstarter game and call it, I put too much time into this game, because that other game was, we didn't play this at all. So it would be the same thing, right?
I put way too much time in this game. My Kickstarter would fail. Yeah, but if you look at the hourly rates that a designer makes on a game, it's like nothing. It's literally next to nothing. With the amount of time, even designers that don't, go as far as I think maybe some should, put lots of effort and time and hours into a game, and they get royalties. And unless that game blows up, the royalties don't amount to much.
Sure. Yeah.
This is why a lot of people can't make a living being a game designer. Like, there's not a lot of money in it. And not only is there not a lot of money in it, but the time it takes to get that not a lot of money is too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't appreciate within the industry at all levels, from development to marketing to reviewing, all that stuff. The amount of hours that goes into all of it never equals the end result, really.
Yeah, it's kind of a bum deal. The good news is that the audience is growing, and it seems to be growing and growing and growing, and I don't know at what rate and whatever, or whether it's slowing down the growth. I hope not. But at least, the more the audience grows, the more reach a company like TMG can get, and maybe the more royalties somebody like me can pull down for a game like Eminent Domain or whatever. And then, the more people play it, the more people buy it, the more royalties they get, the more it was worth the time that went into it.
Sure.
In a way, it was worth it because it was fun and it's out there and people are playing it. But I mean, like, if you're talking about a job, if you're talking about, quitting my engineering job and doing game design full time, somewhere the money's got to be coming. If you have people like, there are a few people that I've seen where they've been wrestling with whether or not they should quit their day job and go into games. I mean, publishers. Stephen Bonacore just recently went full time. publishing. He's been doing it. Like he had a really, probably a high paying job on Wall Street or something.
Yeah.
That, I mean, imagine how big Stronghold must be now that he can say goodbye to that. You know, that's good for him, right? But I can see how you can see how it took many years for him to get to that point. He started up right around the same time TMG did, a little after we did, I think. So like 2009, 2010 area. So he's been at it 6 years before he was able to go full time. Mike too. Mike was at it for 5 years, was it?
Yeah.
4 or 5 years before 5 years, I think, before he quit his day job. And this is publishing here, not designing. That's
but I've seen in the past year a bunch of people who have become full-time designers, and I look at them and go, yeah, you guys are eating mac and cheese every night, right? Out of a box.
Or, well, I mean, some of them, they have different business models, I guess. Either some of them are going to go get a job again later, or some of them are, married to someone who has a good job, or some of them are, very successful and sell lots of games. I don't know.
But that's the whole point. They're not. It's not like Eric Lang saying, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to quit my day job and just go do design." These are people who have like a couple of games out, and maybe they have one that did very well, but the other ones are, okay.
Maybe they're maybe they've got some savings and you're giving it a shot, and then in a couple of in a year or 2 years, when they'll either have sold more games and start making some money, or they'll have not and they'll go get a job again. I don't know. More power to them, I guess. Hopefully, the thing is, and maybe that's the scary part. Those are the people who are most likely to not, have extra time to spend working on any given game because they need to get their paycheck to survive off the paycheck instead of having a job. So that's kind of the problem. Like the people who can afford the time aren't doing it for the money because that means that by definition almost they either have a job or don't need one, and the people who are doing it for a job don't have the spare time to put into it.
But on that respect, I think the people who haven't reached that quote unquote level, I have probably more want to play the games of the people who still have their day job because they're making a game because
they want to, not because
because they want to, and they're doing it based on something that they're passionate about. I see people who design games, and sometimes I look at what they're talking about working on it, and I'm like, you're designing a game because you have to design a game, not because you have any desire to design this game. Like there are people out there who have really popular games. When you go and look what else they designed, and they've designed maybe one other game in like 10 years.
I see what you're saying, and it's kind of a catch-22 as well. Because, like, for example, I still have kind of a day job, but people like me, I start out, designing as a hobby in my spare time because I like it or whatever, and I work on stuff I like to work on. And then if you end up having some success with that, say you get a game signed or whatever, and you liked doing it, and you do it again, and then say that goes well, and it's like you like doing it so much, maybe you just want to do it more than your day job, and then you move towards that. But then as soon as you quit that day job or whatever, now you're on the hook, and now you're like, well, now I have to do a game whether I want to or not, and your situation kind of switches. When I was in college, I was really worried. People would say things to me like, "Oh, I got a job doing something I love," that I would be really skeptical about it, because if I got a job doing something I loved, I felt like there's a good chance I would stop loving it because I'd have to do it, like it or not, day in and day out, and not on my own schedule. So I purposely went into something that I could tolerate and would pay me enough to go do my hobbies in my spare time, because I didn't want to risk stopping enjoying my favorite things because I was forced to do them. Now, how long? 17 years later or whatever, 20 years later, I've got the opportunity to do something that I love to do as like a job. And when that opportunity presented itself, I was really scared that I was gonna, what if I start doing this basically full time and not? What if I don't like it anymore? What if the fact that I have to, meet deadlines, and the fact that I have to work on stuff when I'm not in the mood or don't have the inspiration. What if that really turns me off to designing games?
Mhm.
Fortunately, there's a whole lot more to what I do than just working on creative game design. And I can kind of attribute all the stuff I don't like to, I've got to edit rules, which is the worst thing in the world. Or, I've got to, write a quote or request, or which I'll talk to Lance about tomorrow morning. Or, I've got to, I've got to back check the artist's work to make sure they got all these things that aren't part of game design, really. That's the job part, and then I can still enjoy the design stuff.
Right, but but you have stuff that you've designed that is not Tasty Mr. Property right now, right?
Well, like published?
Yeah. Well, stuff. No, that's like it's not quote unquote signed that it's going to be. You can still design for your own enjoyment on the side if you wanted to.
Yeah, and I kind of do, and because of my particular situation, anything I design that's any good, TMG can just publish.
Right.
Or
it's not like Michael walks in and goes, "Seth, need a game about garbage." Go.
Yeah. I'm not. No one's like commissioned a game from me per se. That I can think of. I know there are some people that do, get commissions or whatever. People want a game based on a license, and they go to, I don't know, Jay and Sen, for example. I think the Bamboozle Brothers, I think they've perhaps taken some commissions, like, hey, I want a game about, I don't know, Godzilla or something, and they make one. Or Orphan Black. Didn't they do an Orphan Black game recently?
Yeah, they did Orphan Black. I didn't like it.
Godzilla.
I think the Sadler Brothers will take.
Sadler Brothers do it. Also, Matt and Ben, Pinchback.
Yeah. So, more power to them. In some respects, I'm a little jealous that if somebody wants a particular game, they don't, they go to those guys and they don't come to me. But at the same time, I don't know that I want them to come to me because I got stuff to do.
The thing about those is the stuff that they've done on their own
was better.
It's better because you're dealing with the parameters of what they give you. Let's look at the X-Files game that Kevin Wilson did.
Yeah.
All right. The X-Files game.
Do we have to remember this game?
Okay. So the X-Files game, if you're selling it as an X-Files game to the mass market, is not a bad game. X-Files game for the gamer market is not a good game.
No.
I mean, they must have sold a lot of copies. They made an expansion.
Yeah.
Well, it's an X-Files game. They're not selling it to gamers. They're selling it to the public.
But that's the point. The point is, so you have that, didn't do well among gamers. You have the Orphan Black game, didn't do well among gamers. You have the Ben and game about Back to the Future, didn't do well.
Yeah, I actually heard them talk about that on a podcast. Actually, they were surprised it didn't do a little better. I think they said, but I think that their assessment was perhaps it was too gamery for a game that's being sold on a license or something like that. Where it's like people are buying it not because they're gamers, but because they like Back to the Future, and there's not a whole lot of overlap between the people who like Back to the Future and who are interested in having a gamery game. I mean, there is some overlap there, but like, I think maybe that was what they were finding, was that a lot of people were buying it and being like, "There's too complicated," or something. I never played the Back to the Future game, so I don't really know, but that's what they said on a podcast.
But I mean, those are those things where it's like, okay, we need a game about this. Like, okay, everyone talks about Rob Daviau all the time. All right, if you go look at all the games Rob Daviau has worked on, there's a lot of.
I like to say that I don't talk about him all the time.
No,
you said everybody talks about Rob Daviau all the time.
Who are we talking about again?
You only talk about how you don't like Seafall, but
everybody's super pedantic all the time.
Rob's got a ton of games under his belt, and some of them you look at them and you're like, wow, this is the same guy who has the #1 game on BGG, because for his job at Hasbro, this is what his job was. We need a game about this, Rob. Okay. And Rob did what he could to make a game that he thought would be enjoyable that would sell.
Yeah.
And that's like one of those things where it's like, okay, this is now your job. Someone's telling you what to create. It's like, I can tell someone I can hire to paint my house, I want a stripe across the room. But if I say to someone, hey, go make me paint something, you're going to paint whatever you want. That's what art is. That's what the creation process is all about to me. Yeah. So I think those things that when people come and like, again, even if you're an in-house designer, you're still coming up with things that are new that you're doing. I mean, not a lot of people have in-house designers, but the ones who do, they're in-house designers because they've usually worked on these other projects before. But I see things coming out that are just being churned out by some people, and I'm like, all right, when are you going to stop? None of these things are appealing anymore, or exciting anymore, or interesting anymore. You can't be that prolific and be good with that. Even like Ryder Knizia. Ryder Knizia came out with tons of games, and most of them are boring and really not fun at all.
I guess that's where I'm lucky where I'm at. Where like at TMG, it's not, no one's saying, "Hey, get a game out." We need a game about this or whatever. So I can basically do what I want. And in fact, part of my job is to find games that I think are cool. So it's like up to me what we're publishing. In some respects, it's up to me. I'm not the only one. There are other people too that are like, "Oh, that looks cool. We'll do it." But like, that's like the opposite. No one's saying, "Hey, Seth, we need a game on this. Go make it," which is good, I guess. I wonder if that's how artists feel too when we commission them to do artwork for games, for example. I'm wearing a shirt actually that was drawn by Rob Lundy for Cthulhu Realms, and it's the King in Yellow, and like it's like a Dr. Seuss book, which is for it was pretty cool. I don't know how much direction Rob was giving, but I know on a lot of these images, he's given like the name of a card, and that's basically it. He gets to like go wild with it. So he probably, he does a lot of really good art, and I wonder, the more specific the specification, I wonder like if you get, for an artist, I wonder if you get better work if you let them do what they want, or let them be open.
Yeah, I know if you go to Gen Con and you go to any of the artist booths that have worked on like L5R. So the L5R art system is actually cool, and they probably do it in other card games, but they hire the artists to do paintings of scenes, and then they break the paintings down to do the cards. So you'll see, like, you'll go to like Steve Argyle's booth and see like a full painting he did of L5R stuff, and you can actually, if you've played the game and you play it enough, you can sit there and go, oh, that chunk of that picture is this card, and that chunk of the picture is this card, and that. But they basically tell them, this is what we need. And they go and they give them pretty much a free reign. And then from the art, that's where they do everything else from, which is kind of cool. But, you end up with like 12 cards for one painting instead of, one card from one painting. But, I think a lot of things I've heard from people is, you get some direction of like a feel they're going for. But again, you can't tell someone, draw me a dog, if you don't know how to draw a dog. You may be fantastic at drawing people, but you really just can't draw dogs. So it's like,
yeah, I've always wanted to do a thing where we need art for a bunch of cards and have it be like one big picture, and then just cut it into little, this section for this card, this section for this, which I think what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
I think that would be neat and cool, and you can kind of like take all the cards and recreate the panorama. But I think it's not as simple as making a scene, because there won't be. I think the artist needs to know that's going to be the case, so they can put interesting things, spread them out in such a way that otherwise you might not. It might not be amenable to being chopped up like that if they don't know that's going to be happening. But I think it's a good idea, and I feel like it might be a good way to get a bunch of cards done for economy prices, as opposed to paying X dollars per bunch of cards. Maybe pay Y dollars, a much bigger number for one big piece, and then get a bunch of cards out of it. And you might actually save some money that way.
Yeah, they even have cards that I remember where there's two different cards, and one of them is a slightly blown up version of the other card, the artwork.
Well, we got I just got a bunch of artwork done, and for the cards for the next Eminent Domain expansion, and I like how they look. I'm curious to see. There's a chance that some people are going to complain because the style is a little bit different. I don't think it's that much different, but it's a little bit. It's a different artist. We've had a kind of a hodgepodge of other artists. Most of it was done by one guy who was really good, but we had a few other guys too, and who did some art. And so not all of it is exactly the same style anyway. So I didn't think it'd be such a big deal if the style didn't match perfectly. And this whole set is done by the same guy, so it'll be all internally consistent, which I think is good. And I think he's a really good artist and stuff. And so he's a little bit more cartoony though than some of our previous art. So we'll see if there are any complaints. But I think they look really good actually. And the graphic designer also thinks they look really good. I think he actually might like them better than some of the old stuff. But
no, actually, you'll get one of the two. You'll get the people who are upset it doesn't match the originals, or the people going, "Oh, these look great, and the originals look crappy now," even though they don't. But
there's not much matching the originals because we had I guess most of the expansions were done by one guy or maybe two guys, and the base game was mostly done by those two guys, but there were like three others as well. So there's at least 5 different artists that have worked on these illustrations before. This new guy is not one of those 5. He's a different guy. But he's done all the cards. There are characters that kind of show up in different cards. One card is awesome. It's called Police State, and it's just got these 3 guys that are in like military looking or like a mask, like helmet and like shield kind of thing, and a billy club, like a big club or something. And it looks kind of neat and imposing. And then on a different card, there's this picture of this guy, like it's called Executive Order, and so it's the emperor guy like pointing his finger and saying, do this, and he's handing a piece of paper. And on the TV and behind him, there's like a screen. It says live, and it has the picture from that police state, which I think is a great little thing that you might not even notice because it's in the background. But
spoilers.
I think there's a lot of
spoilers.
Yes, when you have the same artist, it's really neat to be able to do stuff like that, have continuity from one card to another. Which I like. I like having that in those cards, and so that's a good example of it. And having the same character show up in different cards in different ways, kind of gives you some storyline. So we'll see if that. And I actually enjoyed the process of going through like with the artist. We had a meeting. It took like 2 hours actually. Went through each of the cards, and I kind of explained like he doesn't. I don't know if he's played the game or not, but I like it when the artist has played the game, but it's not always necessary. But I basically tell him what the card is like supposed to do in general terms, not in like mechanical terms. And then we kind of brainstorm like what should the illustration look like. And it was tough because this set is about politics. So like all the cards were like, yeah, 2 guys in the suits shaking hands or whatever. Like that's dumb. So we had to get a little creative to get some more interesting pictures in that. And I think we did a good job. So I can't wait to see what people think of that. Although I'm pretty sure there'll be some backlash because there was in Coliseum, people complained about how cartoony the Coliseum cover looked compared to the old one. So we'll see if that happens again.
Yeah, the thing about using different artists, I mean, you have to do it, and especially with a lot of stuff in the game. But in the original Core Worlds base set, they had 3 artists work on the cards. 2 of them had the pretty much exact same style. You really could not tell who did which cards. You'd have to look at the thing to see who the illustration was. The 3rd artist, however, had a very different style. His was, again, more not cartoony. His was more comic book looking. And I think he only did 1 or 2 cards in the entire set, and they stick out like a sore thumb because of it. So, you can't keep, the artist is not available. I mean, maybe the artist died. I'm not saying that happened with the eminent domain thing, but things change. You can't, unless you're gonna have in-house artists, which you do now, but it's not the same guy who did the original game anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you're never gonna get that sort of consistency there.
Good night, Maurice.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in real quick. Good night, guys. I'm gonna head off. I got to get up for work in a couple hours.
Night, Mo.
All right, catch you guys next week.
Catch you next week. Yeah, Anthony, you're not kidding. The graphic designer for Eminent Domain went and started his own company and is doing really awesome. He just put out Santorini, and he's working on brass remake now, which is going to be awesome. And he did Theme Park Rally. So Gavin, he was the original graphic designer for Eminent Domain. And so he's no longer available to be the graphic designer for the expansion. Luckily for me, I have a friend who's also a good graphic designer who's worked on a couple of our games before, and he's really good at matching the styles. So he's actually he did Exotica and he did Microcosm. And if you look at those, you might not notice it was a different designer than who did Eminent Domain, Base Game, and Escalation. Gavin did Base Game and Escalation, and Ariel did Exotica and Microcosm. And I thought he did a pretty good job of and to one extent he's working with assets that existed, but he had to come up with new icons and new rulebook layouts and stuff, and I thought he did a pretty good job of fitting it in, and now he's doing the new one as well. So I think he's pretty good at that. So that we got lucky there, but if not for that, what do? You have the whole game look different. You have somebody I guess you have somebody do the best they can with the existing assets.
I'd like to mention that I haven't thought of the game Core Worlds in forever. You mentioned it, I was like, Core Worlds. Oh yeah, that was that Stronghold Games thing or whatever that was forever ago. Like, God, I haven't thought of that game forever. Can't remember the last time I played it.
I haven't played it in a really long time. I only played it like once, but I have thought of it recently because I was listening to a podcast. What podcast was it? Whatever it was, somebody was talking to the designer of Core Worlds, I believe. Is it the same guy that's got a deck building dungeon crawl game coming out on Kickstarter right now?
His name's Andrew Parks.
Yeah, doesn't Andrew have a? Is that am I conflating two people?
Andy has a game coming out. What the hell is that game called?
Dungeon Alliance. Dungeon Alliance.
Hold on.
Dungeon Alliance is the game. Yeah. He's got Canterbury, which
he's got that other game with the Giants game, which is sick looking.
No, have you guys ever like played Canterbury, the spreadsheet game? Like if you actually look at the game, it looks like a giant spreadsheet. It's not a bad game. It's actually quite decent. But I
actually have Canterbury, and I've never played it. I've had it for a real long time, like 2 years, and it's still in shrink wrap, and I'm really sad because I always wanted to play it, and I actually forgot I had it.
Yeah. so he's got a game that's coming out, Assault of the Giants, which is friggin' insane.
What's it called?
Assault of the Giants.
And it isn't about table salt.
No, this is the new Dungeons and Dragons game from WizKids.
Yeah. That's such a I mean, it looks cool, but man, those things are so hit and miss.
I know Andrew. They were playing it at Engelstein's house in November when I went there.
Oh, you know him. Good for you.
Hey, you don't get to be on the secret cabal and not know people.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but it's secret cabal, so you're not supposed to say if you know people.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what, guys? It's almost 1 o'clock. It's time for bed.
No, it's almost 2 o'clock.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's almost midnight. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Seth, I will talk to you in the morning.
All right. Talk to you in like 10 hours.
Yeah, and as always, thank you everybody for tuning in. For those of you who I sent an invite to and you didn't show up, you guys are jerks. But yeah, get some sleep, get some rest, play some games, have some fun. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.